Welcome to the stream, everyone. If you're new here, subscribe. We will be live on the air in about 90 seconds. If you're new here, my name is Brian Craig. This is the most pro-Donald Trump radio show on the planet Earth. We broadcast live at Morning Drive on 6 radio stations. 5 of them are FM, 1 AM station. And this is our top of the hour break, news, traffic, weather, and all that. Getting ready to go on the air live.
This contract shows that when we fight together, we win together.
The deal includes pay raises, smaller class sizes, and requires classrooms to be climate controlled within the next 4 years. Police in Detroit have arrested a suspect in the shootings of 4 people, 3 of whom died on Sunday. Police say the shootings appeared random and that they linked the shootings through shell cases left at the scenes. They say a tip led to an arrest. This is ABC News.
Clean Freak, brought to you by Mr. Clean. Looking for an all-purpose cleaner to muscle through the tough dirt around your home? Well, the Mr. Clean Clean Freak Mist is up for the job. Clean Freak Mist brings the cleaning power and the special power nozzle to tackle hard-to-reach dirt, which means it can conquer caked-on messes in your microwave, stained countertops, and grimy surfaces. Just spray, wipe, and done.
Oh, man, I'm texting with my wife. Oh, by the way, all the members, that we have a new Melania emoji. Check it out. Good morning, everyone. Oh, man. A new week. Weekends are always a little too fast, aren't they? Oh, man. We have a lot to talk about today. There is a lot going on. This is a big week. Saturday, there is a Trump rally coming up in Pennsylvania, which is a big one. It's an important one, and it is the first post-Mar-a-Lago break-in rally, so it's got to be a good one. And, oh man, these Trump haters are quadrupling down. They're quadrupling down. I don't know what the word is for that, but there's a lot going on, and we're going to talk about it. But here is something that we've got to deal with. They are going to indict President Trump. I mean, that's just the way it is. I know on Saturday, I got a text message alert from Newsmax TV, and they were promoting an upcoming Newt Gingrich appearance. And they said that Newt Gingrich, this is what it said, Newt Gingrich said the indictment is coming. And I know everyone's talking about an indictment of President Trump. I told you when the break-in happened, I would not be surprised if they already have an indictment that they've kept sealed, that they haven't move forward on yet. I don't know. But I do know at some point we are going to get an indictment of President Trump. And what's going on right now is the media, the Trump haters, getting the American people accustomed to the idea that President Trump will be indicted for some type of crimes involving this records nonsense at Mar-a-Lago. They want you to get used to it. Everyone's talking about it. What will happen if it happens? When it is going to happen? So that when it does happen, you're not shocked. It's almost, they're talking about it so much in the mainstream media, it's almost like when it happens, when the indictment story comes out, it'll be almost as if, oh, that's old news. That's what they're doing. They want the American people accustomed to the idea. If they just did it in some shocking thing and we didn't know it, people would be like, whoa. And now by the time they're done talking about it, what their hope is, people will be like, old news. Yeah, we were expecting this. I don't think it'll go over that easy. But my question to you is, when? The discussion of if there will be an indictment of Donald Trump, I think we're beyond that. I mean, so I've got a few questions I want to ask you all in this listening audience about this, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. There's several questions involving this, and of course our number is toll free from anywhere. 1-888-GO-CANE-1, and numerically that's 1-888-465-2631. Call is on hold, stand by. Before I take the calls, I got to set the stage here. 1-888-465-2631. 2631. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you are listening to us. And of course, the Steve Kane Show, we are here weekdays from 5 a.m. till 9 a.m. from MAGA, Martin County, south through the Palm Beaches, Boca, Broward, into North Miami. So Here's a few questions here. One, do you believe that Donald Trump will be indicted? My answer to that is yes. I mean, I think the if is we're beyond that. I think we're in a new, as of today, it is, the question is, what happens when Donald Trump is indicted by this corrupt administration we have? What happens when he is indicted, not if he will be indicted. So what will happen? They come out with the indictment. It's going to be breaking news. The internet may break. The news media, they'll have a difficult time not high-fiving one another. Some of them may high-five one another. They're going to have a very difficult time hiding their joy in this. Because what's going to happen? First, we're going to get the story of a grand jury indictment of President Trump. That's going to be just the blazing headlines everywhere, breaking news sounders. Everything's going to just break loose on that. So the anti-Trump media, which is basically all of it, most all of it, they're going to immediately ask this. Well, when's he going to be arrested? So what happens after the indictment of President Trump is announced? Do you believe he will actually be arrested? If the answer to that question is yes, he will be arrested, how will they do it? Will they actually go to wherever he's at the time? Bedminster, a rally in Pennsylvania Saturday, Mar-a-Lago, and actually show up and put cuffs on President Trump? Or will Merrick Garland come out and announce a surrender, that President Trump must surrender, because what they want two photographs they're dying to have. The anti-Trump media and the never-Trumpers in both parties, what Kerry Lake refers to as the uniparty. By the way, there's one opening on the board right now at 1-888-465-2631. Stand by on the phones. I do have to set the premise here. So, when the indictment comes out, will they physically go to him and arrest him or announce a surrender, that he must surrender? Remember this happened with OJ. Because the never-Trumpers, the anti-Trumpers, and the media, there's two photographs they want. They want a perp walk photograph of President Trump in handcuffs. Can you imagine? A president of the United States under Secret Service protection in handcuffs. They want that photograph, him in handcuffs. And the second photograph they want is a mugshot. Oh yes, they want the mugshot in the hand. So when the indictment comes, will he be arrested, and how will that play out? Will they go and arrest him and put cuffs on him, or will they announce a surrender? If they announce a surrender and even contact his legal team about this, and if you notice, the media are spending a lot of time trying to discount his legal team. They're saying there's one member, maybe two of his legal team that were with One American News. So what? What's the relevancy of that? There's a lot of media and PR needed here, and these attorneys from One American News are handling some of the television end of things. But there's a lot of that going on. They're trying to discredit the legal team to give the authority with the government prosecutors that this legal team are just a bunch of TV girls and they don't know what's going on. Have you noticed that going on over the weekend? So if they announce a surrender, that he must surrender, Merrick Garland comes out in his very effeminate tone that he has and announces a surrender, will Donald Trump show up and surrender at a federal courthouse somewhere? If they make the other move to actually send the feds and the FBI to arrest him, will that be allowed? Will the Secret Service allow that? He is under their protection, after all. Or when the indictment comes, will they try to work out a deal that the government, that they won't pursue charges if he agrees not to run for office again? And if they go that route, will President Trump go along with that? I know that's a lot. That's a lot, but this is a new week and we're in a new world. And you can see it coming. The indictment of President Trump, it's just a matter of time. And remember, these people that are in charge of our government right now are not mentally stable people. They hate Trump like they've hated nothing else in their life. These people that are running the government are more interested in getting an arrest, getting an indictment, getting charges against President Trump than they were getting Osama bin Laden after 9/11. They didn't work this hard to get bin Laden. It's insane. Now listen, every line on the board is lit. We are going to take our first break of the hour. I'm going to come back and go right to the calls. All our breaks are hard breaks on this program, and I don't have time to start a conversation and give you, your fair time on the air. So call us on hold, stand by, and I would recommend you do that because you may not be able to get back in on the lines. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. This is the Steve Kane Show's 45th year on the radio this year. My name is Brian Craig, and of course all the calls are screenless on this program. We screen them live on the air. When you call in, I just put you on hold. Okay, and we've got a full board of calls. I don't know who is on hold on any of these lines. I don't know what their viewpoint is. I don't know if they're MAGA, Never Trumper, Republican, Democrat. I'll find out when you find out when I take the calls live on the air after the break. Don't forget, you can listen to this program in a variety of ways, including Alexa, play WWNN Radio. That's one way to do it. Alexa, volume 6. Let's not get too loud this morning. And of course, on the iHeartRadio app, searching for our radio station call letters WWNN. 2 W's, 2 N's. Oldie South Florida will come up. That's us. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back with your calls after this. Oh, man. Well, welcome, everyone. Make sure you subscribe if you are new. Everyone, please like the video. And to all of you out there that are members to the channel, my wife Kathy made a new emoji. You know, the members have their own unique emojis that only members have access to. She made a new one last night for Melania. There's a Melania meme now, or sorry, I'm reading an email. There's a Melania emoji now. That's the Melania emoji. There you go. Yes. We have a bunch of others too. I'll put them all in there. There you go. There's even one of me. Oh man, it's one of those days. Oh, man. It's Halloween family fun as children draw their own Halloween masterpieces. They will be displayed throughout the month of
finished basement into a complete workspace solution.
Staples has you covered.
A desk that's all business, but not too businessy.
Staples has you covered. And now at Staples, take up to 50% off select chairs and up to 75% off select desks. Plus, with 25% off Staples furniture support, we'll assemble your new furniture and guarantee it against wear and defects. Explore solutions for your remote workspace at Staples. Ends 9/3 in store only. Thinking of buying a new mattress? Don't. Go right now to MyPillow.com and order your 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off. But you gotta use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com.
So give me a yes or no. Will President Trump be indicted in the chat room? Yes or no? Will Trump be indicted?
Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with...
Alrighty. We are back. Yes, yes. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. And so the question is, what happens after President Trump is indicted? I laid it all out there in the first segment, so I'm just going to go to the phones and not do any recapping right now. So people that are just tuning in, I'll recap at some point, but let's go to the phones. Every line on the board lit. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's John in Well.
Hey, John.
Like you and Steve always say, you can indict a ham sandwich. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go to trial. And if it does, I think it's going to be the worst thing possible for the DNC because...
Well, you're not answering any of the questions. Okay, the first question is, do you believe Donald Trump will be indicted?
Yes.
Okay, so then we're not talking about what the fallout is or the trial. Then what happens? How will they do it? Will they pursue it? Will they arrest him? Will they demand he surrender? What do you think will happen?
I think he's going to be faced with an indictment. They're going to give him the option of running or not running. If he decides not to run, they will tell him that they will drop the entire thing. I don't think they understand who they're dealing with, and what I was trying to tell you at the beginning is it's going to be a mess for the DNC at that point.
Okay, so this is it. Okay, so you believe there'll be a very public indictment. The television will be flipping out. They'll go to him and say, we'll drop the charges if you agree not to run. So what does Trump do with that?
He's going to deny, he's going to decline their offer. He's going to go along with it. And once it gets to that stage, it's not going to be like a hearing where they ask a question and then say, I'm reclaiming my time. This is going to be a trial where he's going to be able to tell his side of the story, and he's going to unleash on the Democrats.
Oh, so you think they're going to bring him up on trial in federal court if he doesn't? Wow. So they're going to so when they go to him and say, don't run, we'll drop charges, he says no. Do they put the cuffs on him? They send the FBI to his house? What do they do?
I think they'll send the FBI for him. I don't think they will perp walk him per se. There won't be any handcuffs involved. He will either be told to show up at a certain place at a certain time, or they will escort him out.
Well, now again, I'm not a lawyer, okay? You have to leave all this stuff up to Mark Levin. But if they're going to go to trial with an indictment, they have to arrest him. He has to be arrested and processed and booked.
True. That's true, but you don't necessarily have to use handcuffs.
Oh, but they want to. They want the photograph of the handcuffs on him.
I know, but what's going to happen then is they're going to open their own Pandora's box, and it's going to be open season on. Good for the DNC.
Oh, the other ones are so damn old, except Bush, they can hardly walk. There aren't no.
There's always Obama. He's only 60 or 61.
They're not going to arrest a black president. That's just not going to happen.
Okay,
Okay, all right, John in Wellington, take care. So, John, now I want to say this to you guys out there. One opening on the board where John from Wellington was. Someone in the chat room on YouTube Live, I saw say a minute ago that I shouldn't put this out in the universe. I'm not putting this out in the universe. This is out there, okay? I'm not talking about what I want to happen. I'm talking about what will happen. I don't live in this world of should. I live in reality. And to me, it looks like the indictment is coming. So they're not going to indict him for nothing. They get here. So that's what we're talking about. Good morning. You're on the radio.
They could, but he probably could get there as fast as he can and get there and get back. But let's just say they let him go and they tried to. Well, that's a disaster waiting to happen.
Well, they're not going to go on. Listen, let's not be stupid. They're not going to go on stage and arrest him at a rally in front of 50,000 supporters. Okay, they would do. That's not going to happen. Let's be realistic here. So let me direct the thing here, because you're getting in fantasy land. So I'm getting too many. You're getting into the Tom Clancy era here. So do you agree with me that he is going to be indicted?
Yeah, he is going to be indicted.
Okay. So what happens next? They arrest him. Do they go to him and put the cuffs on him, process him, get a mugshot? Do they tell him he has until such and such time to surrender himself at a federal courthouse in Virginia? What happens?
That's probably what they're going to do. Either that, or they'll pull what they did with Roger Stone and just go to either Badminster or Mar-a-Lago the night and get him.
Oh my goodness! You know, yeah, they'll go in the middle of the night and get him, like my goodness, like he's a terrorist.
Like they did with Roger Stone.
With CNN along with him.
Of course.
See, when this indictment comes out, the media are going to immediately demand an arrest. And that's all you're going to see. The topic will be when... It'll have two phases. Phase one will be Trump indicted. And that'll be the banner and the sirens and the breaking news sounders and everything. And then once they play that discussion out, which won't take long, they'll talk about, well, when's he going to be arrested?
I think the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to see the announcement or the press conference from the idiot Merrick Garland saying, come in and give up at Virginia courthouse or at whatever federal courthouse in New Jersey or federal courthouse in Florida, you know.
And will he do? Well, if they tell him he's got to surrender, if Garland comes out and tells him he has to surrender by a certain date and time, will he do that, or will he just say no?
I think he's going to say no to that. That's going to call their bluff, and they're going to have to probably end up doing what I said, going in the middle of the night to Mar-a-Lago or Badminster.
Yeah, but he's under Secret Service protection. I mean, are they able to say, okay, you can take our protectee? FBI, I don't know. How does it work? They just can't say, we're giving up our protection. He's yours now. Can the Secret Service do that?
Is the current president in control of the Secret Service? Can he order for the Secret Service to...
Yeah, sure. The Secret Service are under the executive branch. Absolutely.
So that's probably what might happen, is that they'll send him in the middle of the night and the order will come with the FBI, you know, and they'll give the order to whomever the Secret Service is there to stand down, and they will have to stand down.
Wow. I mean, can you imagine? I don't know if they'll do it at night. And I'll tell you why. I think they want to have very clear footage. I think they want to have... Well, who knows? But they do want a photograph of him in handcuffs and a mugshot. I mean, there's no getting around that.
When they went and got Roger Stone, it was pretty clear that even though it was at night, it was pretty clear. Of course, they had
that's true.
The so-called best equipment with CNN there, you know, but it was pretty clear with Roger Stone. So I mean, they could actually do it at night.
Oh my goodness. All right, Mike in Louisiana, thanks for your call. Wow, there's only one opening on our board where I just let go of Mike from Louisiana. We're talking about what happens when the indictment against our great President Donald Trump is announced. 1-888-GO. Kane 1 is the number. 888-465-2631. My name's Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Every line on the board is lit. I'm taking the calls in the order in which they were received. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and come back with your calls after this. Every line on the board is lit. I'm taking the calls in the order in which they were received. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and come back with your calls after this.
Making morning radio.
All right, guys, I'll be right back.
The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning at 10 a.m. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Last Monday of the month of August, and we're going to see sticky daytime highs with lots of tropical moisture around in the low 90s. We'll have a good coverage of showers and storms throughout today as well. We saw some overnight, and that will continue on and off throughout today. I'm WPBF 25 First 40 meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
This morning in the Palm Beaches, the major expressways are in center free, moving up to speed from Boca Raton to Jupiter. All overnight construction has been cleared, and the surface streets are also crash free. We're just seeing some light volume right now on Boynton Beach Boulevard eastbound from 441 to the Turnpike. Also on Military Trail north and southbound passing Forest Hill Boulevard. This report is sponsored by Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. The brand new Galaxy Z Flip 4 is finally here. Capture hands-free content from every angle with Flex Mode. The sleek, foldable design lets you make your design conveniently compact. Visit Samsung.com to order your Galaxy Z Flip 4 today. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there.
Yeah, every line on the board is lit. You know, I was reading something over here, a memo. No, I see what some people say, like, I shouldn't be talking about this. Listen, we got to live in reality. You know, these corrupt animals are going to do it.
Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall.
Bill Collingworth, new member, welcome. Make sure you go and check out all the exclusive member content I keep up there. So if you go through that section, you'll have access to all the past exclusive member content as well as what we add in the future. That's right, Michael. There is no end to it.
Make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Parents, are you tired of helping for your kids' shoes?
Oh man, I've gotten back into drinking water again, thankfully so. I've already had water today. I'm having coffee now, but I'm like hydrated properly almost again. It takes me a week probably to be as hydrated as I'm supposed to be. Okay. Yeah, I was listening that the last hour on Friday's show. My mic was distorting a lot, so you got to let me know because sometimes I can't hear in the headphones. I don't know if it might. You know what I mean? I don't know. So you got to let me know. Yeah.
Keep them looking newer, longer. Get Skechers Slip-ins, the "Where have you been all my life" shoes for your kids or for mom and dad today. Find Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
An honest auto mechanic, you probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie,
oh man, I know it's these people are sick. These are sick people.
All makes and models, new, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 561.
These are sick puppies we're dealing with here.
561-245-8101. Make sure you
oh yeah.
heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
Hi, I'm Tonka. Saturday mornings will never be the same. Neither is your body. I'm gonna let you in on my big health secrets.
Body Talk with Tonka.
We got about 2 minutes and then we'll be back. Our bottom of the hour break is our longest break of the program.
Over the hill, tired, sluggish, taking those midday naps, just not feeling yourself. There is help.
Because all the lines are lit on the board. So it might, if you ring enough, it might go to the voicemail.
It works. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. And make sure to tell him you heard about
I can tell my lips are not as dry as they were. They're not fully hydrated yet, but they are evil people, Beverly.
condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription.
I know, we're in a whole new world with these people. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, and everyone that's in the chat room, please like the video. Liking the video helps a lot. And those of you that are Patreon supporters, I've added the Patreon link in the description of the YouTube video, and the top Patreon supporters have their names listed in the description of every YouTube video as well as podcast episodes. So you'll see if you look in the description. Now, that if you would like to become a Patreon supporter, you'll see the link in the description of the video here. In fact, Kathy and I did a Patreon supporter exclusive podcast episode last night.
On your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Here we go.
Back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
Oh, man. Yes, yes. We are back. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. There is only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Callers on hold, stand by. Let me do a quick recap for people just waking up and turning the radios on this morning. We're at the stage now where the question is not if Biden and Garland will indict President Trump. It's a matter of when. And there's some things that have happened over the weekend that I'll discuss as the program goes on. At this point, the discussion is not if he'll be indicted, but what happens after. So that's what we're talking about right now. We know that the never-Trumpers, the Democrats, the media, there's two photographs they want of President Trump. One is a photograph and video of him in handcuffs. And number two is the mugshot. I picked up a copy of the New York Times on Saturday, which I have not done in years, and I won't be doing it anytime soon. It's $3 for that thing, and it's paper thin. Not as thin as the Sun Sentinel, but the New York Times is about as thick as my high school newspaper was at Shrenahan High School in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, it's embarrassing, and they charge $3 for it, but they charge more for the Sun Sentinel. Anyway, regardless of that, they had two front-page articles on the affidavit redactments. And when I read those articles, I mean, they think this guy is the biggest spy that this country has seen since the Rosenberg era. I mean, they're in another head than we're in. Okay? So, will they go and arrest him in person? If that happens, will the Secret Service allow it? Will they tell him he has to surrender by a certain date and time? If so, will President Trump do that? These are the questions that we're throwing out there. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Louisiana. You must be all excited listening to this talk. Trump in handcuffs. That must really turn you on.
No, it doesn't. Okay, no, it doesn't. Okay, here's the deal. When they indict him, they're going to ask him to turn himself in, and he's going to turn himself in. The Secret Service agents that's protecting him are just going to, they really can't interfere with that, because they can get charged. And so he's going to turn himself.
Wait, you said they're going to axe him? You said axe. Ask. Okay, there was no S. Okay, they're going to ask him to surrender. Okay, they're going to ask him. Okay.
Ask him to surrender. He's going to surrender. They're going to come in, do whatever they do, take mugshot, do all this. Then they're going to release him on his own with Congress. He's going to go back to either mar-a-lago or wherever he is in New Jersey, and he's going to start his true social, which I heard this weekend, True Social is about to go bankrupt.
Oh, yeah. Please, give me a break. About to go bankrupt. Nonsense.
Okay. Anyway, then you're going to have, like Lindsey Graham was on Fox News last night, talking about everybody's going to riot. He's going to start them people up, and they're going to go do something stupid.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't pay any attention to Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham goes with the wind. You can't trust anything Lindsey Graham says. He's on everyone. He's on whatever side he needs to be on for that particular interview or news cycle. I don't take anything into what Lindsey Graham says ever. So you believe that we are going to see Trump in handcuffs and a mugshot?
I did not say handcuffs. I said they're going to ask if he's going to turn himself in.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to turn on TV. I'm going to turn on TV at some point and see the mugshot of President Trump.
Yeah.
Okay. So after he's arrested and charged, what happens next, do you think?
They bring him to trial. An option. They're not going to give him the option of where you run or what you call the Trump is evil. I'm not going to run.
Trump is did you say Trump is evil? Evil. What is evil? What is you said Trump is as evil as the devil?
Yes, he.
Can you give me an example of something that he has done that is evil as Satan?
He has took advantage of people.
Give me an example. Something he's done that is as evil as Satan himself. That's what you said.
Yes, he did. He took advantage of people.
Well, give me an example. Give me a specific example of something. He's a slumlord.
A slumlord is evil as the devil.
Okay. What does that mean, a slumlord? I don't know. I've seen these Trump buildings, and they're pretty nice.
You don't see...
Trump Tower's not a slum.
What about the buildings that he has and nobody knows that...
The buildings that he has that nobody knows but you know. All right, enough. He's a slumlord because he owns buildings that nobody knows he owns. Well, then how does Louisiana know? Who can't even say ask? All right, let's go. Back to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian.
Oh, that was that little noise you made in the beginning. It was a little scary.
I'm sorry. My hands are like soaking wet. You off speaker.
Okay.
This is what I think Trump should do. I think Trump should agree to everything, and this is why. I think that he should fall into it and be like, no, I'm not going to run, and this is why. He has 2 sons that are more than capable of running, and if one of them runs, they get served 2 consecutive terms.
Oh, my goodness. So you agree that an indictment's coming, and you're saying that President Trump should make a deal with Garland that he won't run again so that they drop that in charge? That's crazy. Why would he do that?
Because he might not run, but his sons might run. One of his sons will run.
And I'm sure that these creeps that indict a president of the United States are going to be cool with that. They're just going to say, oh, okay, Don Jr. can run now.
No, but they'll think that they got what they wanted, and not the point.
Well, if Trump did what you did, do you really... Now, you believe that Trump would do that, or do you think he would refuse to make a deal?
I think, this is what I think. I think that this is the most disgusting thing that's ever happened in our country. I do think that he would encourage one of his sons to run. I think he'll trick them. I think he's going to be like, yep, I will not run. I'm going to... I
don't know. That sounds crazy. I think you need to have your coffee. Yeah, have you had your coffee yet this morning? President Trump isn't going to make a deal like that. Oh, I'm indicted. I'm scared. Okay, I'm not going to run. And then come out and endorse his kids? No, that's crazy. There's no way. I think he would fight it. I don't think he would make any deals with them. In fact, I don't think he would show up to surrender. I think he'd say, no, I'm a president. I don't have to do that. I have executive privilege. You can't do that to me.
I would hope that this fails so miserably, but you're dealing with evil people.
Well, that's for sure.
Anything.
Mm-hmm.
To retain.
Yeah, well, that's what we see here. We don't need to go to including. All right, one opening on the board at 1-888-GO, Kane 1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. How are we doing?
Hey, all right, Wisconsin Gary.
Well, I've kind of lost my voice a little bit, as you can kind of tell, but the wife was threatening to use T-Rex duct tape, but I think that by the time I pull that strip off, I'll probably have a Brazilian facial that I won't even know existed anymore. But other than that, I'm doing pretty well, Brian.
Doing okay. I don't know what that was all about. So what do you think is going to happen here, Gary?
Well, the thing is, this is something that's never, ever happened in U.S. history. And I don't know why Garland is getting so bent out of shape. I'm surprised he hasn't gone after the Senate minority leader because he didn't get into being Supreme Court justice. But, I mean, what is really happening in here, this should really upset a lot of Americans around. The 70 million strong that voted at the time in 22. And if this all happens and breaks out, because we all know evidently this will happen, because the Democrats will not settle until something happens and try taking.
So do you agree that there's going to be an indictment of Donald Trump? Okay. Okay, so what happens then? Do they go and arrest him? Do they tell him he has to surrender? Or they just let the indictment lay? What happens when the indictment is announced? The media are going to be freaking out.
Some of the media is going to be joyous. Other media is going to be upset. But the thing is, like Mike in Louisiana, here's the thing with the Secret Service. Are they going to relinquish their protection of a U.S. president?
Well, they let them come into Mar-a-Lago. They let them come into his home, in his bedroom, in his wife's closet, and ransack it. Right?
On that, Brian, the president was not there at that time.
That's true.
Was not actually. So that's the issue. Is the Secret Service, when they take an oath, is to uphold and protect their one being a secret.
Well, who's to say they can't go to jail with him? Right? Hey, listen, I got to run, Gary, for the break, but some good points. Callers on hold, stand by. One opening on the board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this. Hey, listen, I got to run, Gary, for the break, but some good points. Callers on hold, stand by. One opening on the board.
Wow.
1-888-GO-KANE-1. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth.
Wow, crazy.
Every morning, 6 to 9, right here on The Steve Kane Show on Oldies 90.
Crazy. Insane. But that's where we are.
But the biggest pain is the cost.
That's where we are right now.
Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922.
These people, they can't. The one thing that Andrea said that was right is they can't handle not having power. Wow. Well, that's how these people are. They're scumbags. They're just scumbags. It is sad for the country. Make sure you all like the video. And if you're new, please subscribe. And as I said, our top Patreon supporters have their names listed in all the YouTube video descriptions. So if you go down there now, a big thank you to our top Patreon supporters, Andrew and Connie, Christine, Gary, that's not Wisconsin Gary, by the way, that's Coral Springs Gary, ETW, Chuck, D, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, and LePaul, who is Macho in the chat room. So thanks to all our top Patreon supporters. Here we go.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19, then act fast. Authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcb19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
An honest auto mechanic. You probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair
They are ruthless.
For breakfast.
All right. Yes, we are back. It is the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Callers on hold, stand by. Back to the calls in just a moment. We're talking about what happens after the Trump indictment comes out, which could come out anytime. I mean, they're definitely setting us up for that. But I want to take a moment to tell you about one of our MAGA brothers who's dealing with incredible amounts of oppression. That, of course, is Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow. There's a guy, all he did was want to give people a great night's sleep. He did that. He's MAGA, so they're out to shut him down. He's been canceled by all the major retailers. They will no longer carry MyPillow products. The Home Shopping Channel, QVC, Bed Bath & Beyond, Kohl's, a whole bunch of other big box stores, including Walmart, which was a big financial blow to Mike Lindell and MyPillow. On top of that, he's got multiple lawsuits. They're suing him for billions with a B dollars, both personally and his company. This is insane. And Mike Lindell made a promise to his employees that he wouldn't lay anyone off, and he has been able to keep that promise because of people like you and this listening audience. Now, when you go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you're able to buy these MyPillow products at wholesale prices because, well, the big box retailers like Walmart will no longer carry the product, so he's passing the wholesale prices on to you, the customers. Now, over the weekend, there was a major update of the specials at MyPillow.com. Some of the specials I was telling you about a week ago are no longer available. There's some new specials there, but when I tell you these specials are going to run out soon, I'm not kidding. They do. They update them without notice. When inventories run low or they run out of certain items, they have to discontinue those specials. And the one special I'm going to tell you about in this break, and there's a couple more that are the lowest price ever that I'll get to later on in the program, but the MyPillow My Slippers are right now $90 off the MyPillow My Slippers. I have two pairs of these. They're just $49.98. All the styles, all the colors and sizes are currently in stock. And with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you can get the MyPillow My Slippers for $90 off for now. This special will end without notice as they run out of sizes and colors and styles. So $90 off the MyPillow My Slippers right now when you use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Oh, hey. Richie the bus driver, what's up?
Yeah, I think what I'm going to say is I think what you really are thinking inside, because this is logic, okay? They will not stop at nothing to stop them from running for president of the United States. They did it with the impeachments, but the impeachments were public. Everyone could watch the impeachments, okay? And he had decent lawyers fighting for him, and they didn't have any evidence against him. Now, an indictment is a different thing. They can sort of trump up the charges. They're silent. They're not on television because federal courts are not on TV.
That's right.
So what I think is going to happen, I think he will be indicted. He will be told to turn himself in.
Okay, slow down right there. Let's walk through this. Okay, so you agree there is an indictment coming. It's only a matter of when, and they're gonna give him a date and time that he must surrender by. So what does President Trump do? Does he surrender himself?
He surrenders himself.
Oh, you think he'll do it? You think he'll surrender?
Because if he doesn't do it, he's boxed in.
Oh.
He starts saying he's the king. He's a tyrant, and they start going through everything because he's not abiding by the law. And President Trump is a law-abiding person, so he's going to turn himself in. You're going to see him in his suit, tie, and getting out of his limousine or whatever, and he's going to wave at the people. Then you're not going to see anything of him because he's got to go inside that building.
And then a few minutes later, we're going to see the mugshot on Fox News.
See the mugshot only because Now he's going to get a court date. He's going to get a court date, and he's going to get it. And when he goes in to be arrested, he's going to be told. I think as soon as he starts talking up to defend himself, they're going to.
Well, when they put him, if he surrenders himself and he's arrested, we will see him in cuffs. You know, if you remember when OJ was arrested, they had him like in an office building, and you could see him through the office with the handcuffs on. It was a big deal at the time. They'll make sure that we see video of him in handcuffs, and they would have to take him in front of a federal judge and have a bail hearing.
Right, and the judge will put a gag order on him.
Oh my goodness!
You're going to see him in handcuffs. I think what you're going to do is, because he was the president of the United States, and he won't give him any reason to put him in handcuffs. But here's the deal: get a gag order put on him. He won't be able to defend himself. Eventually, he's going to go in front of a jury which has a bunch of people like Louisiana. 95% are Democrats in Washington D.C. I'm telling you, and that's why I believe he'll be indicted, because they're doing it in Washington and they hate him. And then he's going to go through the process. Eventually, he's going to be convicted.
Oh my goodness!
But then he's going to appeal, and eventually it's going to go to the Supreme Court. While all this, and then he'll be released. And while all this is happening, guess what? He's not running for president of the United States.
Well, he can. There's nothing that's stopping him. He can still run.
Now he'll have a gag order on him. He won't be able to say nothing. He will be silenced, and that's what they want to do. And then because they don't want him back there.
You know, I'm hearing from people off the air that are very upset at me for talking about this. I don't want to live in denial, people. Okay? I mean, when I got the New York Times on Saturday, it was the first time I was at Wawa. They had one copy on the newsstand of the New York Times, the actual printed newspaper. I bought it. I came home and read it, and it's like reading a Stephen King novel. Talking about Trump. It's frightening. They are not in the same head we're in. They think this is the biggest spy operation that's ever happened. There was a whole article on the front page of Saturday's New York Times that talked about how President Trump was leaking out the identities of undercover operatives around the world. It's crazy.
I don't believe that, but what I do believe is that.
But they do.
They believe. No, I don't think they believe it. But they just like the first time they get false charges, and they put up that they ever thought he colluded with the Russians. They had everyone believing it. They had everyone believing all that crap for 2.5 years until he finally was acquitted. But a Washington jury will convict him. I'm telling you, he will not be. I don't think he's going to run for president of the United States again. I don't think he'll back down, but he'll have a gag order on him.
Well, running for president may be his only way to freedom because he can pardon himself.
I got to be able to, Brian, with a gag order. That's what they did. That's what they did to what's his name? Out.
Yeah, then we'll have Don Jr., Eric, and DeSantis do the rallies for him.
I think DeSantis. Well, I don't think he's going to run again if all this plays out. He's going to be forced. Not that he doesn't want to run again, but Biden already has been out on the campaign trail, bad-mouthing MAGA.
I know. We're fascist. We're fascist, yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen when he takes half the country? He's actually called half the country of the United States fascist. And there's such a...
when Biden's saying that, I got the audio of that later, I'll play, but when he says that, he believes that Trump is the fascist leader. So if you've got Hitler and Mussolini, I disagree with you. They think all these things about him are true. These people are sick. These are sick people.
Sick people because they're power hungry, and Biden hasn't campaigned in how long? And all of this.
12 years. Yeah.
He's talking crap like.
Yeah, and for those of you that say we shouldn't. When Newt Gingrich said on Newsmax TV Saturday, the indictment's coming, he's a Washington insider, okay? So he knows. He knows. And, oh, yeah.
Stephanopoulos. But the thing is this, Christie's right about one thing. He doesn't have the lawyers. His lawyer team is a bunch of good-looking women.
No, that's not true. The women from One American News, these are the TV people that they have on to handle the press side of things. He's got real lawyers behind him. I don't know how great they are because the top tier Washington insider lawyers have been threatened and not to work with him. That's why he never has adequate counsel. He's got lawyers with the hair dye coming down their forehead, you know? Because I love Giuliani, but President Trump is not able to get top tier counsel because of that.
And that's the big problem. And I think you're watching the takedown of a former president illegally, because
yeah,
you say you shouldn't have done any of this. But at that point, he's out of the picture. For an election.
Yeah, it does. It does. And watch when, you know, by the way, thanks for the call. Let's take one more call, then we'll break. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Brian. The Democrats have backed themselves in a corner. They have to go through with the indictment, and that means arresting him and doing something that's never happened. They're damned if they do and damned if they don't. There's no way they can win in court. If they arrest that man and put him in handcuffs...
Well, watch. Yeah, okay. Is it?
This has never been done again. Do you think the repercussions coming from what they're going to do within...
Do you... Okay, so do you believe they're going to arrest Donald Trump?
They have to now.
Oh, my goodness. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, if they don't, what's going to happen? They're going to have egg on their face and Trump's going to win in a landslide.
Yeah.
They back out of this and not look terrible, worse than they already do.
See, everything that's going on in the media is getting the public accustomed to the idea of it. So that's why I know it's confirmed. That's why I know it's going to happen. They want you to feel like when the indictment comes, it's old news, something you were expecting for a few weeks. That's what this is all about.
So do you think they will actually handcuff
Yes.
Donald J?
Yes. They want that image out there. Yes.
If they do that, how many Democrats are going to throw, say, I'm done with this party?
Oh, a lot of Democrats are like Louisiana.
Good Democrats left.
There are?
That party is not lost.
There's a good... okay, I got to run for a break, but Jeff, I don't have time. We got a break, but Jeff said there are a lot of good Democrats out there. Who? All right, listen. We'll be back after our top of the hour break. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Back after this. Democrats out there. Who? All right, listen. We'll be back after our top of the hour break. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Back after this.
The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 is here.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music.
WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good Monday morning, everybody.
Oh my goodness. Crazy.
Sticky daytime highs with lots of tropical moisture around in the low 90s. We'll have a good coverage of showers and storms throughout today as well. We saw some overnight, and that will continue on and off throughout today. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In the Palm Beaches, we are incident-free so far from Boca Raton to Jupiter. I-95 and the Turnpike are both crash-free, but look out for a disabled vehicle blocking your right shoulder on 95 heading northbound passing Boynton Beach Boulevard. Also on the northbound side of Gateway Boulevard, the left shoulder blocked in. The surface streets are crash-free, moving up the speed at this time. This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices.
Make sure you subscribe and everyone like the video.
I'm Chris Barr.
Here's your True Oldies ABC.
Oh man, I know, this is nuts. See? Listen to this.
Mar-a-lago has been ordered. The director of of National Intelligence says the intelligence community needs to determine whether any state secrets were
See?
compromised as a result of those records being stored at Trump's home. Students are set to return to Columbus, Ohio classrooms on Monday after teachers and other staff overwhelmingly agreed to end a strike and approve a new labor contract. Regina Fuentes is with the Columbus Education Association.
This contract shows that when we fight together, we win together.
The deal includes pay raises, smaller class sizes, and requires classrooms to be climate controlled within the next 4 years. Police in Detroit have arrested a suspect in the shootings of 4 people.
Yeah, the Blue Dog Democrats. Well, I haven't heard that. That went out with Gary Condit when his mistress was killed.
This is ABC News.
Clean Freak, brought to you by Mr. Clean. Looking for an all-purpose cleaner to muscle through the tough dirt around your home? Well, the Mr. Clean Freak Mist is up for the job. Clean Freak Mist brings the cleaning power and the special power nozzle to tackle hard-to-reach dirt, which means
Yeah, we're in a completely new place now where we've never been.
just spray, wipe, and done. Brought to you by Mr. Clean. There's no clean like Mr. Clean.
Opinions
Here we go.
Everyone's got one. Get yours in. Steve Kane Show.
They told me to wait 5 seconds. All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. This year celebrating 45 years on the radio, the Steve Kane Show. Oh, man, that last hour is a rough hour. I want to recap, and callers on hold stand by. And, this is just, a couple things happened over the weekend, news-wise, with me. One was I read the New York Times, I've been following some liberal media lately, which more so than I normally do, because things are very serious now. These are the people that are in the liberal media are of the same mindset of the people that are running the country right now. And I picked up a copy of the New York Times, the actual paper edition. First time I've done that in years. Sometimes I'll read a New York Times article, but I've never read the whole New York Times before. And they had 2 front page stories on the Friday events with the release of the redacted affidavits authorizing the break-in of Mar-a-Lago. And reading the New York Times it's like reading a newspaper from an alternative universe, so far as what the liberal viewpoint is towards the break-in of Mar-a-Lago. And they had 2 major stories about it. Both of them, they didn't seem like news stories. They seemed like editorials, but they're called news stories. But both of the stories talked about his leaking of secrets. In particular, they were very specific in the column, on the news article on the right side of the front page of the New York Times on Saturday, if you want to take a look. And they actually talked in detail about how Trump has been giving out the identities of undercover operatives for the intelligence services around the world. Is this crazy? And then there were 2 other stories over the weekend, 2 other happenings. One is I mentioned earlier, and the other one I haven't yet, but the one I mentioned earlier was Newt Gingrich. I got an alert from Newsmax TV on Saturday. Newt Gingrich was coming on, and he says the indictment is coming. It's a reality. I was like, oh, great. And then they had this story over the weekend, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen, about this woman, this Ukrainian woman, who was pretending to be a Rothschild and got herself in the Mar-a-Lago, and she's in photographs with President Trump. Have you seen this story? Everything goes back to Ukraine, doesn't it? And I saw this story of this Ukrainian woman that falsified her identity and got into Mar-a-Lago with the president. And to me, that looks like another government operation. They're trying to show that he is reckless, that he has these highly classified documents with nuclear secrets, the list of spies around the world, and people can just make their way in. It was another setup to set up this premise that secrets are being leaked out. That's how this woman got into Mar-a-Lago. It's unsecure. It's not a secure location. So you put all these things out there, and I have no question in my mind that an indictment of President Trump is coming. It's just a matter of when. So what I'm talking about this morning is not if he's going to be indicted. I think since Newt came out with that, I think we should just accept it. The question is, what happens after? We know that there's two photographs they want. They want a photograph with video of President Trump in handcuffs, and they want the mugshot. They want them both. So the question is, do they go and arrest him at his home, or do they tell him he has to surrender? And if they tell him he has to surrender, does he do it? And there's more after that, but these, we got to take things one step at a time. And for anyone that's upset at me for talking about this, we've got to live in reality. We can't be in a bubble where we deny. I'm not saying that any of this should happen. This is crazy what's going on. But we're living not in the world of should, all right? I wish we lived in the world of should. It'd be a perfect place, wouldn't it? But we're living in a very corrupt country run by very corrupt people. Look, my son Hunter's coming out next week. The Hunter Biden movie. I saw the extended trailer. Oh my goodness. That's who's running this country right now. All right. So let me give out the number and then we'll go right to our phones. And these are the questions. What happens after the indictment is where I want to kind of take the discussion with you on the phones. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Debbie from Michigan. I just wanted to let you know your sound is off on YouTube.
Well, you could tell me. It seems fine to me. Okay, all right. I'll take a look at it. Good morning. You're on the radio. Oh, my goodness. Yes. No, the sound is fine on YouTube, by the way. I just checked it. You need to maybe refresh your feed up there in Michigan. All right, Doug, go ahead.
Okay, I may be one of the only people. I know Newt Gingrich is an insider, but I totally disagree. I don't think anything's going to happen. They want the indicted Democrats. The media wants it so they can have everybody watching the media. But I don't think you have to have a crime. There's no crime. And if this country is that bad, then I give up. But
okay, so you think there's not going to be an indictment against President Trump? So what was their plan? Why did they break in the Mar-a-Lago? Why do you think there's not going to be an indictment?
To keep their base, to try to make sure everybody's turned off to Trump. They're doing everything they possibly can so they can possibly win an election, in my opinion. But,
okay, so you're the lone voice. This is a very unique call with Doug because Doug is not saying what other people are saying, which is what he typically does. So you're the first conservative I've heard say that there will be no indictment of President Trump. So they're just going to let this go. They're just going to let this go. Merrick Garland, Biden.
Well, they have nothing. That's why the indictment. What indictment? All he saw is black lines. There's nothing really in there. I don't think they found anything. They have to have a crime. I don't see a crime. He declassified everything.
Yeah, but they don't agree with that. They don't agree with that. They don't agree that he declassified everything.
Well, that's too bad on them. What they don't agree, they can try, but I can't believe that they're going to go to the next step and actually put cuffs on.
Well, I would say that you're in denial. You must be calling me from the beach and have your head in the sand during this call.
Well, I'm hoping I'm right because, man, if they do this...
Oh, no, I'd love you to be right. I would love you to be right, but I you might be right and I might be crazy. Anyone know what that comes from? You might know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you might be right. I might be crazy.
That's why I have a song, isn't it?
Yeah, but Billy Joel, what song?
Oh man, I can't remember.
It's Billy Joel. I can't remember either. That's why I asked, but it is Billy Joel. All right, take care. Appreciate it. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Bill from Louisiana.
Bill from Louisiana. What's up, Bill?
I'm not one of these
Trump dislikers. I'm a Trump supporter. I've been that way ever since the get-go. And not all people from Louisiana are against Trump. I know more people that are for Trump than against Trump. However, I do think they're going to indict him, or arrest him, I should say. And I do think they're going to go as far as...
So when they arrest him, do you think they're going to... Okay, I agree with you. I think they're going to make a move to arrest Donald Trump. I believe the indictment they already may have the indictment, and they're just holding on to it till they condition the public to the idea. So do you think they'll physically go to him and put the cuffs on him, the FBI, or will they tell him he's got to surrender at a certain time and place?
Nothing would surprise me, and I do think they'll do it in public, and I actually think they'll even show it on TV as they take it to the court for his hearing, for his bail hearing. If the strap, it wouldn't surprise me. Where he, they watch.
Well, they put Roger Stone in leg irons. You know, they put or not Roger Stone. They put Peter Navarro. They put Peter Navarro in leg irons.
They'll do it to him too.
Oh my goodness! And we'll see that on television.
I think so too.
Oh my goodness!
Saying is you know, and I want to say this to the American people: call your congressman, complain. You have that right. You know, everybody should be in an uproar over this, and I think what they're going to do. I said in the chat earlier, they're going to wake a sleeping giant. I think that, and you know, the Trump supporters have always done everything. All right, well, at that point, we need to end the conversation. We're not going to go down that route. All right, this isn't Trey Gowdy with Lindsey Graham. Okay, I saw that last night. Listen, callers on hold, stand by. We're up against our first break of this hour. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll take our break, come back with your calls. Don't go anywhere. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. 631. 888-465-2631. Great calls today, guys. Come back with your calls. Great calls. Don't go anywhere. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Now make sure that you like the video, everyone. If you're new here, please subscribe. And our number is toll-free no matter where you are watching on YouTube. These calls are from both our YouTube viewers and people that are listening to us on our radio stations. It is pouring rain outside, by the way. I mean, really pouring rain. And all these calls are screenless. I don't know who's on hold. I don't know until I take them on the air. I don't know what their position is. I take all the calls screenless here. Oh man, can you hear that rain hitting against the window? Woo! You think I'm terrible? Why am I terrible, Charles? Here we go. I'd like to hear that. Why am I terrible? Charles going underground now. By the way, it's Brian with an I, not a Y. Oh yeah, the rain. It's raining hard outside. Lindsey Graham's a hack. Well, we're up against breaks, Donna. We got to take our breaks on time. We network with different radio stations. They're hard breaks. I got to take the breaks. All right, here we go. Coming back in about a minute. I'm not down. Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Wesley. Good morning, Brian. That's right. Good question, Wesley. Well, the Secret Service
protect Donald Trump if he's in jail. Well, call me on the air, Tim. Tell me why. Butch up.
Just 60 seconds and you'll be racing for the phone. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show.
All right, we are back. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, and man, is it raining outside or what? Holy cow, it is really pouring outside. Well, you know, we are in hurricane season. We are in rainy season, and this is why when you have a leak in your roof, little wet spot on your ceiling, you need to call Tom LaPorta at LaPorta Contracting. He will never sell you a roof that you do not need. You know, we had that 30th anniversary of Hurricane Andrew. That was my first real hurricane experience. I've been through a few of them, and they're not fun. Those of you that are new to Florida, hurricanes are not fun. Don't believe all this nonsense about the hurricane parties. You know what a hurricane sounds like when it comes by your house? It sounds like a freight train for hours right outside your window. It really does. And I was telling this terrible story that happened to one of our salespeople during Hurricane Andrew at the radio station. Steve and I were at then, the old WFTL 1400. Oh my goodness. You know, the hurricane was supposed to hit Fort Lauderdale, Broward County. And at the last minute, it moved to Dade County. And Rick was his name. He was a good guy. And since he lived in Fort Lauderdale, but since the Hurricane Andrew was going to hit there, he went to stay with his 90-year-old mother, who's got to be long gone now, unless she's 120, down in Miami. And the entire roof got ripped off the house completely during Hurricane Andrew. And poor Rick was there with his 90-year-old mother in the bathroom, in the bathtub, with no roof, and it was really rough. It was really rough. And what happened is they had a loose shingle on the roof. And when those hurricane winds come through, it looks for any entrance, and it gets under that shingle, and boom, ripped the whole roof off. It was like the Wizard of Oz. It was terrifying. Terrifying. Don't let that happen to you. Call Tom LaPorta at LaPorta Contracting. He'll do a free roof inspection. He's a good MAGA guy. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, Tom LaPorta can help. His number that I'm going to give you right now rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Tom LaPorta is a Florida roofing and general contractor, by the way, which is the highest level of contractor license in the state of Florida. Online, LaPortaContracting.com. All right, we're talking about what happens after the indictment of Trump. Oh, boy, it's terrible that this is the country we live in. Let's go back to the phones. Where they're doing these types of things. This is not the America that we were in a year and a half ago. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, Vincent Wellington.
Hey, what's up, Wellington?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of discouraging to hear all of this, but, I mean, if they go through with this and they actually indict him and make it to where he can't run, I don't see the point of pursuing anybody else in any type of political background, because they're just going to own it at that point. You know, it's almost like they don't want voters anymore. It's like they're trying to fund their own campaigns through our tax dollars. I've heard so much about what they've tried.
Well, do you think that, I mean, everybody except Doug, everybody on the phones this morning, and top experts like Newt Gingrich, insiders on television, are saying there will be an indictment of President Trump. Do you believe he will be indicted or not?
I'd say yeah, probably.
Oh my goodness.
Like, as desperate as this place is, as desperate as they are, and as much support as they're losing, what other option do they have? If Fauci's retiring in 3 months and everything else is falling apart for them as far as having a candidate that's valuable, nobody even wants to hear about Joe Biden running again. Who are they going to put up? It's a bigger question. And I believe that's the reason why they're going after Trump so hard. It's because they have no answer for him. They got nobody they can put up against him. I believe that 2020 was stolen.
Well, I don't know if they're going to, I want to talk about what's going on now. I want to talk about what's going on now. I don't want to talk about the past. I don't want to talk about other things. I want to talk about what happens when an indictment happens. Well, by the way, thanks for the call. What they don't understand, there's a lot they don't understand, these Trump haters, okay? But one of the things they don't understand is that everything they do to him makes him more popular, makes the base, the MAGA base, more passionate, and it grows the MAGA base. That's what they don't get. An indictment, if they had a gag order and he was locked in a prison cell, he'd win. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. There is only one opening on the board right now. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Joe from New Jersey.
Yeah, go ahead. You're on the air, New Jersey.
Okay, basically as far as concerning the Trump ordeal, I do, Brian, think they're going to indict him because even if it was, say if they didn't find anything, I don't trust these guys to fabricate any of them to do something like that.
And we know that, hey, listen, they're saying there's nothing in the indictment. They got nothing. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I haven't seen the FBI or Garland come out and say, well, we went in and found nothing, right? Have you seen that press conference? Have you seen that news release? I haven't. So they're, so they're planning something, and it's the indictment. So what happens? Do they arrest him in person? What happens?
I think they're going to arrest. I think they're going to arrest.
Goodness.
And it goes to the Supreme Court, but I don't even trust them right now over the 2020 thing.
So you think he's going to be arrested?
Because it's going.
Okay, I don't want to get into that end of it. Oh my goodness. And by the way, that's not something to say while you're laughing. That last caller. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, John from Boynton.
Hey, John in Boynton. What's on your mind?
Well, I think they're going to arrest him and just do that perp walk with them, just like they do with those other low criminals.
Yeah, like John Gotti.
Yeah, just to try to embarrass him. And that's the worst move for the Democrats because that's going to make them look.
So when now this arrest, I agree with you. I think they are going to. I'm accepting there's going to be an indictment. I mean, come on, and they'll arrest him. Will they go to him in person and try to arrest him in person with the cuffs, or will they tell him he's got to surrender?
The right thing would do to do it all.
The right thing to do. We're talking. Come on. The right thing to do is not to.
Perp walk. They're going to make him do a perp walk. Exactly. Put it out in front of the cameras for everybody to see, and they're going to embarrass themselves, the Democrats.
Oh yeah.
They're going to hurt them in December.
Yeah. So do you think they'll do this before the midterm elections? Well, see, this is the thing. I know a lot of people say, oh, no. They have a policy. You can't do such a thing so close to an election. President Trump is not on the ballot. So even if they were going by their own rules, which they aren't, but if they were, they tell themselves it doesn't apply because Donald Trump's not on the ballot. They could do it the day before, for all they know, care.
Yeah, they know. The American people have a short attention span, so they have to do it as close to the election as possible.
Well, if they, if they did that, our turnout would be historic. Midterm election turnout is much lower than the presidential elections. We would have if they did that, I even think now, without doing it, without the indictment and an arrest, we would definitely see, with an indictment, we would see the largest midterm voter turnout in history, probably.
Everybody on both sides, independent, libertarian, everybody has to wake up and get involved. You have to vote.
That's right. Hey, listen, thanks for the call, Boynton Beach. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll take our bottom of the hour break on this dark and rainy morning here in not very sunny South Florida today. I mean, it's dark out, it's raining, and man, drive safely, drive slowly, guys, on your way to work and taking the kids to school. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig, back with your calls after this. It's raining, and man, drive safely, drive slowly, be right back, guys. On your way to work and taking the kids to school. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig, back with your calls after this.
Bringing the heat to your radio every morning. It's the Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning at 10 a.m. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Last Monday of the month of August, and we're going to see sticky daytime highs with lots of tropical moisture around in the low 90s. We'll have a good coverage of showers and storms throughout today as well. We saw some overnight, and that will continue on and off throughout today. I'm WPDF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies.
Oh man, this is our bottom of the hour break is with all the news, traffic, and weather. It's our longest break each hour of the program. If you're new here, my name is Brian Craig. I co-host the most pro-Donald Trump radio show on the planet Earth. We're live at Morning Drive on 5 radio stations. So, so we got a pretty large listening range here in Florida. And all the calls you're hearing are from some people that are watching on YouTube. Some are our radio listeners. And our number is toll-free from anywhere. And, we got a deal in reality. I mean, I could sit here and tell you there's nothing in the indictment. There's nothing in the indictment. Well, they didn't toss it out. They didn't say we searched and found nothing. We got to deal with the reality. We can't live in this world of what we want to believe when it comes to these things. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. I'm sorry. Make sure you all like the video. And everyone, if you're not, please subscribe. Click that notification bell. I upload a lot of content to this channel. And, of course, I'll have a new podcast later today with my wife, Kathy, that I'll upload here. My podcast is on all podcast platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all of them, Apple Podcasts. Wherever you get podcasts, you can find my podcast, which is a separate show I do. Well, the truth is they're going to indict him. That's the truth. It's not about whether the Constitution and all that. They don't care about any of that. Okay? They don't give a damn about any of that. You may be right. I may be crazy. Is that the song? I'm looking for. You may be right. I may be crazy. What's the name of that song? Is it You May Be Right? Maybe it is. That's the closest you'll ever get to hear me singing right there. Unless I'm alone. It's the optics, that's right. Oh, whatever, Mike Davis with no picture. Call in, butch up. Show you got some balls. No picture. Call me on the air and you tell me. Be a man. Operator Jim Croce. I'm a big fan of Jim Croce. Oh, man. He's my favorite, really, tell you the truth. And I think Operator is probably Jim Croce's best song. Operator, can you help me make this call? What's the next line? You may be right. There you go. Oh, I love Billy Joel. Billy Joel, my favorite musical acts. Billy Joel, all the old stuff. It went down. Nothing. Everything before that, when he got all that Russia crap, But Billy Joel, Jim Croce, Van Halen, Def Leppard, and 10,000 Maniacs. Those are my 5. If I'm listening to music, it's one of those 5. You were born the same day Jim Croce died. Yeah, he died in a plane. It's hard to call it a crash because it really didn't make it off the ground. It didn't make it off the runway, Jim Croce's plane. All right, we're coming back.
Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to LinZess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire.
Everyone is welcome to call, regardless of your opinion. There's no bigger supporter of Trump than me. 954-977-9445. There's other music I like, but those are my top 5.
The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on these 95.3 and 96.9.
All righty. Oh, man. We are back. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. And this is just a rough day. I understand. Callers on hold, stand by. Let me do a quick recap, and then I'm going to go to the phones. And the recap is this. I mean, Trump is going to be indicted. I think we got to move on to that, okay? I'm not going to sit here and say they got nothing in the indictment. Of course they got nothing. Trump's never broken the law. The only law Trump's ever broken is maybe a speed limit, driving his Lamborghini around Palm Beach back in the day. I don't know. Maybe even then he went the speed limit. Who knows? So what happens after the indictment? Will he be arrested? Will they do it in person? Will they put the cuffs on him? Will they tell him to surrender? These are the things we got to deal with, people. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Yeah, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Boz in New Jersey.
Hey, New Jersey. What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to make 2 quick points with you. Again, I fully agree that Trump is going to be indicted. I do believe that he's going to be arrested.
Oh, my gosh.
I just want to touch on a point from last week. I heard you say with Kathy that, the FBI will be the most viewed footage in history.
Yeah.
I propose this question to you. Do you think his arrest of footage would beat that view count?
Well, I don't know. We're expecting at some point the video to be released by the Trump family of the ransacking by the FBI of Mar-a-Lago. And I think that's going to make people physically ill. Yeah. And what I was talking, you're talking about, I was on my podcast with my wife, and the footage, the ransacking footage, when that's released, will be the most viewed video in the history of the internet, in my opinion. Now, an arrest of Donald Trump, it depends on how good the footage is.
Yeah. Now, just one more point, too. If what would you propose as far as filling in this?
No, I can't get to that. Their goal, listen, when Trump runs in the 2024 primaries, there's going to be a state early on that keeps him off the ballot. I expect that. That's just going to happen. We're going to, and I guess we'll have to deal with that. I don't know if you can do a write-in, and can you even do write-ins in primaries? I don't know. But that'll be the first test.
You may have to.
Yeah, it's pretty loud up there. Is it raining in New Jersey like it is here in Florida? Because it's pretty loud.
No, forgive me, Brian. I'm on the truck phone right now.
Oh, you're on the truck phone. That's okay. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. Some good points. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, Honduras, I guess. Everybody else.
You're calling from Honduras?
No, I'm from Honduras, but I don't.
Well, where are you calling from then? Where are you calling from?
I don't want to say.
An undisclosed location somewhere in America? What are you? Are you illegal? You undocumented? What are you trying to hide?
I have a crazy ex-boyfriend.
Well, how would he know you by saying what state you're? Okay, all right, crazy ex-boyfriend. Go ahead.
I don't think that Donald Trump's going to get arrested, or my president.
Okay.
Honduras has already been through these shenanigans, and I always call him and in a panic saying, "Oh my gosh, you know what? Like the PBS children's director said they're gonna take our children and indoctrinate them." And he's like, "Yeah, this is what happened before in Honduras, and that's not gonna happen here."
Well, this country is being run like a banana republic, a third world country right now.
Mhm.
It's pretty obvious. I know it's sad, but that's what's going on.
Yeah, but it's just the beginning. They can't do it right now. It's the beginnings, and it's scary, and it's scare tactics.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen.
Well, you're the second caller who says there will be no indictment. You and Doug, conservative Doug.
I wasn't with Doug at the beginning, but I'm with him now. They're not going to arrest him. They're trying to scare us. We have to stand together and say no.
Well, I'm not scared. Donald Trump doesn't seem scared. He's got a rally this weekend coming up. So, so in Pennsylvania. So I'm not scared, But it doesn't mean that these things are not going to happen. I think he can weather it and get through it, but they are going to indict him. I mean, they didn't break in, and they haven't kept the case going for nothing. They have a plan here.
No, that's right. But if as many people stand up and say no, then that's how scared they are. Like, we have to come up with a strength against them and say no, that's not going to happen, because
they control the Constitution. They don't care. They don't care what the Constitution says. They're trying to save us. They think these people are evil. They think they are saving the country. They don't realize they're evil. They think the Constitution is, by the way, thanks for the call. A caller from Honduras at an undisclosed location somewhere in America. She's got a crazy ex-boyfriend. She doesn't want to know what state she's in, and maybe she thinks he's listening, would recognize the voice. Okay, I get it. These people don't care. When I was reading the New York Times over the weekend, and they had very long articles. I mean, this was like some of these articles in the New York Times are like 3,000 words. I don't know how many words. It's a lot of reading. And monitoring the liberal media right now is important, because when you monitor the liberal media, whether it's me reading the New York Times or watching CNN or MSNBC, you get inside their mind, the mind of the people that are behind this effort to break in the Mar-a-Lago and charge Trump with things. And you got to understand, these people in the liberal media, their sources are the White House and the Justice Department right now. So when you monitor the liberal media this past weekend, after the redaction version that came out in court on Friday of the affidavit, you get to see where their mind is at. And their mind is in another plane of existence than the one in which we exist in. I agree with you. What they're doing's wrong. He's done nothing wrong. This idea of criminal charges and breaking into the homes of presidents is insane. It sets a dangerous precedent. I agree with all of you on that. There's no bigger supporter of Donald Trump than me. That's it. That's true. But these people are not where we are at. They're in another plane of existence, and they're in power. They control the government, they control the system, they control all of this. So we're in their sandbox, and we got to deal with that. We're in their reality and under their control with this, and that's what we got to deal with. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Dave from Pompano. How are you?
Hey, Pompano. I'm all right. How are you?
Good, man. Hey, listen, I agree with you 100%. The mentality of some of the callers thinking that something is going to happen when they control both
everything
chambers and right. So if we get a president in 2024, Ron DeSantis, you have to fire 2 or 3 levels, or you can't really fire people who are, supervising agents, but move them so far down the trough. There's been a thought that there may be an attack Arctic towers, and we need to put those people in charge of that in the middle of nowhere so they can have no authority in the FBI. You need to go 2, 3, 4 layers down to get rid of the management as well, and let the agents move them up who are...
Well, that's not going to happen. So do you think they're going to arrest... Are they going to arrest Donald Trump?
Zero chance. Oh, no. I think they're going to absolutely indict him. They didn't do that.
Well, an indictment, but are they going to arrest him?
If they indict him, they're going to try. They're scared he runs again, and they're going to do everything they can to stop him.
It's scary.
Right, and to think otherwise, it's just the naivete of the Republican Party. We've suffered through that for so long, and then we get in and we're kind of nice, and we do some slipshot investigation.
Yep.
We want to believe that we're going to be tough, but, to quote the movie Wedding Crashers, I want to be pimps from Oakland or cowboys from Oakland.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Pompano, thanks for the call. We'll take our break, our last break of the hour, and back with more calls after this. That's right. All right. All right, Pompano, thanks for the call. We'll take our break, our last break of the hour, and back with more calls after this.
They're the most polarizing talk show hosts in all of South.
Be right back.
The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, morning 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone on bone or need a knee replacement? Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have non-surgical solutions that include rehab and injections that can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery. We have been in practice for 75 years in South Florida. You don't have to live with pain any longer. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
Florida Luxury Cabinets is your local cabinet showroom, right?
Oh, man.
Specializing in custom cabinets.
Make sure you subscribe if you're new here, and everyone, please like the video. Oh, man, this is one of those days. No, I'm sorry. We got a deal in reality. Now, by the way, Patreon supporters, Patreon supporters, I have the names of our top Patreon supporters listed in all the podcast descriptions. I've now updated that. Top Patreon supporters also have your names listed in the description of all the YouTube videos. And if you'd like to support the program, become a Patreon supporter. You get commercial-free editions of all of my podcast episodes. And my wife and I do a lot of things just for Patreon supporters. Last night we did a podcast episode for Patreon supporters only. And top Patreon supporters get their names listed in the episode descriptions of every podcast and YouTube video that I put up. Vlogs, the live streams, everything. So the link to my Patreon page is in the YouTube description. All right, we're coming back here in a little less than a minute. Oh, boy. It is some really bad weather. I went over to the other side of the building to look out of the window from another direction, and it is really rainy today. Oh, man. All right. This should be the last commercial, I believe. Yes, this will be the last one. All right, we are back. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Oh, man, and, well, the rains have stopped, but it's still dark out. I don't know if more's coming, but drive slowly and safely this morning. The roads are wet. Taking the kids to school on your way to work. No speeding today, guys, or any day, right? You're MAGA people. You obey the law. Now, I want to tell you guys, over the weekend at MyPillow.com, they updated their specials. Some of the specials I told you about last week are no more. So when I tell you that some of these specials will expire, you need to take my word for it and take advantage while you can. I want to tell everyone about what is, I think, the most life-changing of all MyPillow products, the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. That special has remained for the time being 50% off, the lowest price ever for the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper when you use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. And this is a life changer. We got it because my wife was having some back pain. We got a pretty new mattress. One night, back pain gone. And I've been sleeping the whole night through ever since, waking up when my alarm clock goes off and tells me to wake up. Before, I'd always wake up before the alarm. Not since I've been sleeping on the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. So if you're not getting the night's sleep that you think you should get your 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off. Comes in every mattress size too, from twin all the way up to California and split king, and every size in between. The kids will love it too. If you get it for the kids, they will love it. It'll help them get a good night's sleep for school. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen, how are you?
Good. So I think he will be indicted, but I've never agreed with you when you say that they think they're saving the world. These people are just evil monsters, and they are trying to protect their own interests because they know if Trump gets in there, they're going to be.
Well, this is okay. Ted Bundy, the famous serial killer, right? You know, Ted Bundy, in an interview, do you know who he blamed for his murder spree? Ted Bundy? He blamed the girls. He said they got in my car. Remember, he would trick them to get into the car. He said they all got in my car. You know, people that are evil, they don't view themselves as, I'm evil and I'm doing evil things. They think what they're doing is the right thing to do. These people are evil. You're absolutely correct. And they're as corrupt as John Gotti, since I mentioned him earlier, I mentioned him again. But they don't view themselves that way. The people that run this government are people that, these are family legacies. Some of them go back centuries, okay? And they've been recruited while they were young people in college. I mean, you know, but look at John Kerry. I'll give you a great example with John Kerry. You know who John Kerry's best friend was in high school?
I remember you talking about it, but
Robert Mueller from the Mueller investigation was John Kerry's best friend in high school. You think that, and boom, and look where they are today. You think that's a coincidence? So this is a group of people that have these connections that we don't even understand or know, and they think the country has been lost with President Trump, and they're trying to get the country back on track. They don't view themselves as evil people. They don't think they're evildoers.
Oh, I don't think they look at themselves as being evil at all. I don't think that. And it's been going, Democrats have always been pushing back, trying to, win the elections however way they needed to do it. But that's in their own interest. But anyway, that's,
So do you think President Trump's going to be arrested?
I don't know. I mean, what's this all about? I mean, what is it all about? They probably need.
Mm-hmm.
And to get what is going to be the reaction from MAGA people? I think they're waiting for that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Joellen from Fort Lauderdale. Take care. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How are you? Vinny from New York.
Hey.
I think they're going to do a dog and pony show like they always do. You know, they'll come at 4 in the morning, they'll take him out of bed, they'll arrest him, they'll have the news there, they'll do a whole dog and pony show.
Okay, slow down there. So you're thinking they'll go where? It depends on where he's at. If he's in Mar-a-Lago or Bedminster, they'll come at night and arrest him in bed. The Secret Service just going to let that happen?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the power rules, but that's what's going to probably happen, and it'll be probably close to the midterms. That way it messes that up.
Wow.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I know from kind of experience that's what they do. They'll come, they'll put a dog in your neighbors, and then all of a sudden they return you, they let you go, and they don't ring the doorbell and tell your neighbors, oh, you know what, it was just a mistake, it was this, and then they sweep it under the carpet, and then no one knows.
Wow. I appreciate it. All right, Vinny in New York. You know, I love all our listeners, okay? But the New York listeners, New York City is considered the #1 radio market in America. #2 is Los Angeles. And when we have people that listen and call this program here in sunny South Florida, that's not very sunny this morning, but when they call us in Florida, when they're in what's considered the #1 radio market in America, that's supposed to have these radio gods on the air, and they're listening and calling us here on the Steve Kane Show, that's pretty cool, isn't it? It's pretty cool. I like so I love all of the listeners, please. But the ones in New York, I guess, feed my ego a little bit. It's just good to hear. I mean, you know. We should be on in New York City. Oh, man. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is the number. 888-465-2631. We've had 2 people today say there'll be no indictment. Conservative Doug, which is a meaningful call because this was Conservative Doug's first call that he didn't just repeat what I said or what he heard somebody else say earlier. And then the lady who's originally from Honduras hiding out from a boyfriend here in America. So she didn't want to say where she's calling from. She doesn't think there'll be an indictment, but everybody else does. And this is a rough situation we're in. There's no doubt about it. And you know, this MAGA fascist thing that's going on. Let me play some of this. This is Biden over the weekend. Listen.
What do you mean by semi-fascism, sir?
Okay, now the reporter, he says to Biden, what do you mean by semi-fascist? That's what they call MAGA now, semi-fascist, they say to Biden, as he's ready to board the helicopter.
What do you mean by semi-fascism, sir?
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. What is a semi-fascist? Aren't you either a fascist or not a fascist? You know what I mean. No, I don't, Joe. Tell us. So then over the weekend, the chairman of the Democrat National Committee was on one of the Sunday shows. I think this was Stephanopoulos.
Earlier this week, the president referred to the MAGA.
No, that's not Stephanopoulos. This is I'm not sure who that guy. Maybe it's Stephanopoulos' show with the guest host. But anyway, this is an interview on the Sunday shows with the DNC chairman.
Earlier this week, the president referred to the MAGA, Make America Great agenda, as almost like, quote, semi-fascism. You heard the president's inaugural address the same way I did. In that inaugural address, President Biden said, we should not view each other as adversaries in this country, but as neighbors, and we should treat each other with dignity and respect. How does semi-fascism, as a label for the Republican Party, fit with that inaugural address?
Well, the one thing that President Joe Biden has always been consistent. And he has always been somebody who does what my grandfather used to do, which is speak it plain.
Okay, so that's the DNC chair. And then here's Jean-Pierre, White House spokesperson, being asked about it.
On this semi-fascism comment, is this something we're going to hear more of?
that phrase? Is it something the president's going to kind of embrace, or is there any sense that it was, a little impromptu, and it's going to turn into a kind of basket of deplorables thing that he regrets and then tries to be quiet about?
Look, I was very clear when laying out and defining what MAGA Republicans have done, and you look at the definition of fascism, and you think about what they're doing in attacking our democracy, what they're doing in taking away our freedoms, wanting to take away our rights, our voting rights. I mean, that is what that is. It is very clear, and that's why he made that powerful speech that you heard from him last night, and he has not shied away from saying that.
Okay, so semi-fascist. So she said, look at the definition of fascist, and I looked it up, and they have updated the definition of fascism and some characteristics. But let me go to the Britannia, because they came up with the English language. So let's see what they say. Fascism is an ideology. Oh, hold on, I lost my internet connection. And mass movement that has dominated many parts of Central, Southern, and Eastern Europe. It is a far-right, authoritarian, ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader, militarism, forcible suppression of the opposition, belief in a natural social hierarchy, subordination of individual interest for the good of the nation and race. Where's the part that fits into the MAGA movement there? I mean, I know that nationalism is not necessarily a bad thing, but when you put it with these other things, I don't see anything in the definition which Jean-Pierre said to go and look up fits MAGA or fits Donald Trump. Do you? Here's another definition, fascism. A political system headed by a dictator in which the government controls business and labor and opposition is not permitted. Donald Trump did away with all that federal regulation of business, so I don't know what they're talking about. All right, now we're coming up on our top of the hour break. Callers on hold, stand by. We don't have time to take any calls before the break at the top, but we will go to the calls after the top of the hour. Today's show's flying by. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. If you're new to the program, the Steve Kane Show is the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig, been co-hosting the program for a long time, and we're here with you 5 a.m. till 9 a.m. weekday mornings from MAGA Martin County, south to the Palm Beaches, Boca, Broward, and North Miami. And we take calls live on the air about all the topics we're discussing on the program. There's much more to talk about as well that I haven't touched on. I'm going to touch on some other topics too after the top of the hour break. And if you miss a portion of the show, go to our radio station website, oldiesouthflorida.com. About an hour after the show each day, the entire show is uploaded on the podcast page. Back after this. If you miss a portion of the show, go to our radio station website, oldiesouthflorida.com. About an hour after the show each day, the entire show is uploaded. Steve Kane Show. Back after this. Hold on.
The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 is here. WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Last Monday of the month of August, and we're going to see sticky daytime highs with lots of tropical moisture around in the low 90s. We'll have a good coverage of showers and storms throughout today as well. We saw some overnight, and that will continue on and off throughout today. I'm WPDF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In the Palm Beaches, we do have a multi-vehicle crash, but only blocking the right shoulder on the northbound side of I-95 just beyond Gateway Boulevard. I-95 is also a bit slow now, though, to the north, passing Boynton Beach Boulevard up to Lantana Road. The southbound side pretty slow from Boynton Beach Boulevard down to Atlantic Avenue. The turnpike is pretty much moving up the speed from Boca Raton to Jupiter. No accidents or delays there. We're also seeing delays, though, on the northbound side of I-95 from Deerfield Beach into Boca. And it looks like we have some construction in place on Southern Boulevard eastbound approaching I-95. 2 right lanes are blocked there, and delays go back to...
If you're new to the program, make sure that you subscribe. And everyone, please Please like the video. We got an hour to go.
22 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle: air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right
The rally in Pennsylvania is Saturday night, isn't it? Someone I heard say Friday here earlier in the chat, but I think it's Saturday.
ABC News Update.
ABC News Now, I'm Mark Remillard. An assessment of possible fallout over former President Trump's possession of classified materials at Mar-a-Lago has been ordered. The Director of National
No, Steve won't be here today.
Intelligence community needs to determine whether any state secrets were compromised as a
Yeah,
result of
Saturday.
records being stored at
I thought so.
Students are set to return to Columbus, Ohio classrooms on Monday after teachers and other staff overwhelmingly agreed to end a strike and approve a new labor contract. Regina Fuentes is with the Columbus Education Association.
This contract shows that when we fight together, we win together.
The deal includes pay raises, smaller class sizes, and requires classrooms to be climate controlled within the next 4 years. Police in Detroit have arrested a suspect.
Yeah, I thought it was Saturday,
Four
yeah.
people, 3 of whom died on Sunday. Police say the shootings appeared random and that they linked the shootings through shell cases left at the scenes. They say a tip led to an arrest. This is
I think so.
Clean Freak, brought to you by Mr. Clean. Looking for an all-purpose cleaner to muscle through?
I was looking forward to that launch to the moon today because, you know, you can see the launches if the skies are clear from here. And it was supposed to launch about 10:30 today. I don't think it's going to. The weather's too bad. All right, coming back.
The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All righty, we are back. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. There are some other topics, though, that I want to mention beyond the indictment and arrest of President Trump. I mean, this is just, I know, it's crazy. It's hard to think about anything else. But President Trump has a rally scheduled Saturday in Pennsylvania. And, you know, the cable news, except Newsmax, do not carry the Trump rallies. This is President Trump's first rally since the break-in of Mar-a-Lago. Saturday night, Pennsylvania, for Dr. Oz and Doug Mastriano. This is another test of the media. This one should be carried. There's a major news event of the break-in of Mar-a-Lago, the affidavits, they carry all that story. They're showing the redactions, they have endless discussions about it. Here they have the man there at the rally Saturday night who I expect to talk about. Do you guys expect President Trump to talk about the break-in of Mar-a-Lago? I do. They need to carry these rallies. If they don't, well, they're again another little bit of evidence that shows that they're not really the news, that they're fake news. And shame on Fox News if they don't carry the rally on Saturday night. I will be watching. Cancel your plans on Saturday. There's a Trump rally, and this very well could be the most important Trump rally in years because it's the first rally since the break-in. So we haven't really heard him speak too much since the rally. Yeah, there's been posts on Truth Social, but I mean talk at length since the break-in. And my fantasy for the rally would be that, because, you know, President Trump, what he's been doing at the rallies for the last 6 months or so is pretty cool. He shows things on the video screens, which are pretty cool. I would love him to show at the rally on the big screen on the stage the footage of the break-in of Mar-a-Lago and the ransacking of his office, his bedroom, Melania's closet, and everything by the FBI. That'd be amazing. But this rally is important, too, because Dr. Oz is in big trouble, and Mastriano, you know, this is a stupid story they have about Mastriano. Let me read this, then we'll talk about it a little bit. Trump-backed Republican Pennsylvania candidate Doug Mastriano, he's running for governor in Pennsylvania. They have a photograph of him in a Confederate military uniform in the Army War College event that he was taking part in at the time. The controversial photo of Mastriano in the Confederate uniform was published on Saturday by Reuters. It was taken 3 years before he retired from the Army. Staff in the photo were reportedly given the option to dress as historical figures. The vast majority of staff present appeared to choose regular clothing instead. Mastriano was one of only 21 people wearing a Confederate uniform. And of course, President Trump's campaigning in Pennsylvania this week, with the highlight being the Trump rally. So they're trying to make Mastriano look like he's a slave-supporting, racist Confederate, right? And I haven't seen Mastriano respond to this. If I were on his team of advisors, I've got the perfect response that Mastriano could give that would cause a media meltdown. Yes, that is me in the photograph. By the way, notice the media didn't care that the Democrat governor of Virginia was in that Klansman outfit years ago. Oh, that was a long time ago, that Klansman outfit. That's okay, you know. But this is relevant. If I were Mastriano, I would say, yes, that is me in the photo, which it clearly is. We were reenacting the Civil War, and someone had to dress up as a Democrat. I was dressed up as a Democrat as we were reenacting an event in the Democrat insurrection against the U.S. government known as the Civil War. And if he said somebody's got to dress up as the Democrat in the reenactment, that was me, it would cause a complete media meltdown. They would probably drop the issue if he went at it that way. But I don't know if Mastriano's thinking quite that way, because I really haven't seen a response. But wouldn't that be a beautiful? Yeah, that's me. I'm in the uniform of a Democrat during reenacting a scene from the Democrat insurrection against the United States government. That would be beautiful. Beautiful. But the one that's in trouble there really is Dr. Oz up against Fetterman. And this is really an embarrassment. I mean, this oaf, he looks like, what's that cartoon with the green guy, the ogre? Starts with an S. Do you know what I'm talking about? I can't remember the name of it. Eddie Murphy did the voice of the donkey. It's a kid's movie with a lot of profanity in it. Pretty sure. I can't remember. It starts with an S. I cannot remember the name of that movie. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? That's Mastriano. Shrek. Thank you very much. Shrek. Fetterman is a white Shrek with the skinniest legs I've ever seen on a man that size. I don't know how those skinny legs of Fetterman hold up that oaf of a body that he has. And he's an open communist. And Dr. Oz is getting just destroyed by this guy. I've got a new piece of audio that I'm going to play for you in a moment. This is the third story of Fetterman that has video in it that Dr. Oz has not been going with. The first one came out early last week, maybe even the week before, of Fetterman on tape talking about legalizing heroin. And I told you that's a perfect one for Dr. Oz because he's a medical doctor, he's a physician, and he could take that audio and make a great commercial showing what happens to a normal, healthy person through the process of doing what Fetterman wants to legalize, heroin. It'd be great. It would be devastating. Then there's the second story where Fetterman chased an innocent, unarmed black man down the street with a loaded shotgun. Fetterman did that, and then he did a TV interview bragging about it. He was a one-man Shrek, skinny-legged lynching mob. And if I were Dr. Oz, I would try to find that innocent black man that was chased by Fetterman with the loaded shotgun and interview him. If I couldn't get him, I would do a commercial walking the streets where Fetterman did it. But Dr. Oz is out at the fancy grocery stores buying fancy foods, caviar and things, and complaining about the high price of caviar under Biden, basically. And now there's a new piece of audio with Fetterman where he wants to allow convicted murderers to be set free onto the streets of Pennsylvania. Listen to this. This is Fetterman in an interview. Listen to this. This guy's a nut.
If you had a magic wand and you could wave it and fix one thing, what would it be?
Life without parole in Pennsylvania. We could save billions in revenue long term. We could save thousands of lives and not make anyone less safe. And also expunge as many permanent records of people that have been living their best lives and have been paying well beyond when they should have for a charge that they caught, 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Wow, so he wants to let convicted murderers who have done as little as 10 years out of prison. Oh, that's an old crime 10 years ago. One thing about killers, one thing about murderers, one thing about hardcore violent felons, when they're let out of jail, one of the first things they do, if not the first thing, is commit another felony because they're animals. They're violent. They get more violent while they're in prison. So he wants to legalize heroin, Fetterman. He chases innocent, unarmed black men down the streets of Pennsylvania with loaded shotguns. And he wants to allow convicted murderers out of prison. 10 years, that's enough. Far beyond what they should be getting. It would save us a lot of money. Really? What about when you got to try him again for the next murder they do? How about that? He's not factoring that into his plan. How is Dr. Oz losing to this communist lunatic? How is that even possible? I'll tell you, President Trump, I bet you President Trump is more pissed off at Dr. Oz than he is over this break-in of Mar-a-Lago. Dr. Oz and his campaign staff are idiots. And sometimes I'm starting to think Fetterman is just trolling and punking them. Like, what crazy left-wing lunacy can I say today or leak out today and see if Dr. Oz is smart enough to go and get involved and try to make a thing out of it. I mean, it's like he's trolling Dr. Oz. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of this hour. Callers on hold, stand by. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's a toll-free call. Looks like the rains have let up, and I see some sun on the horizon, or some light. I shouldn't say sun, but I see some light on the horizon. I'm not giving the weather report. We got a weather report. Listen to them, not me. I'm just looking out the window. It's not raining out of my window now, and I see some light. So that's a good thing. But the roads are still wet, so drive safely. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be back with your calls after this break. Don't go anywhere. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465. Sherry, new member. Welcome, Sherry. We'll be back with your calls after this break. Don't go Make sure you check out all that exclusive member content.
Telling it like it is, whether you like it or not.
Oz is an idiot.
96.9.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain.
Oz is just an idiot.
Is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. BrightonDentalCare.com.
Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? That's right, a free doorbell camera. I have one and you will love one. The first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands, no matter where you are. And that's not all. Sloman's is going to give you a free, customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's right now for this limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050.
Seniors, how would you like to save money on your Medicare Part B premium? Don't pay too much. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors and find out how much money you can save. There are also changes to prescription drug plans in 2023. Find out how much money you can save on your prescription plan and Medicare Part B premium. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. No matter where you are in Florida, Debbie can help. 954-753-8080.
We're bringing health to your house. Why leave home when we bring the quality care you need to you?
Immaculate Home Healthcare brings comfortable, convenient, effective healthcare to you without leaving the comfort of your home.
Our qualified, friendly staff of skilled medical professionals is ready to help you get back to good health. Contact us today, 561-372-9108. That's 561-372-9108. Or online at ImmaculateHHC.com.
Bruce, also a new member. Welcome, Bruce. Check out all that exclusive member content, guys. And welcome, Sherry.
Your vehicle doesn't need. He works on all makes and models. New, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show.
Yeah, but which Doctor Who? Matt Smith or Tom Baker?
561-245-8101. And make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
Grab your coffee and get ready to be triggered. The Steve Kane Show with...
Alrighty, we are back. It is the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Oh, man, and of course, last week we announced our MAGA cruise, which leaves out of Fort Lauderdale on January 28th on the Celebrity Apex. Vaccines no longer required for cruising, so that's amazing. We've been waiting for this for a long time. We hadn't been talking about the cruise too much because we were waiting for this day. We are there. I was telling you all on Friday, incredible deals on people that are cruising alone, singles. Usually, singles, it's the same price as if they're going with someone. That is no longer the case. There is a massive discount for single cruisers in all cabins, regardless of which cabin you choose. There are huge discounts for singles. And if you're going alone, hey, you're not going to be alone. We've got a great group of people, and a lot of people booked on our cruise last week with this announcement of the vaccine requirement being lifted for cruising. And our group has gotten a lot bigger than it was a week ago, and a lot of these are people that are new to the program, only been listening to us since our recent expansion. And we leave out of Fort Lauderdale on this luxurious cruise ship, the Celebrity Apex. Go look it up on YouTube after I go off the air at 9. It'll blow you away. It's so cool, so new, so modern. First stop, San Juan, Puerto Rico. We're going to the British Virgin Islands, and St. Kitts. Is St. Kitts in the British Virgin Islands or Tortola? I forgot. I keep getting them mixed up. But we're going to San Juan, Tortola, and St. Kitts. One of those last two is in the British Virgin Islands. I can't remember. And the Virgin Islands are beautiful. We took a cruise to the U.S. Virgin Islands a few years back, and you're going to love it. And, of course, even if you're not single and you're going with your significant other, my daughter's going with me. You'll get a great deal because we have the lowest prices of anybody else sailing on this ship. We locked in our group rate during the height of COVID when cruising was shut down, so we got a great deal. And call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. He's our travel agent for all of our Steve Kane MAGA cruises. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779 and join us. We're going to have a great time. I could use the vacation. I'm looking forward to it. Now, Beto, I was reading today, I'll throw this out to you guys. Beto O'Rourke has been hospitalized with a bacterial infection and is postponed campaign events. What kind of bacterial infection could this be? Is VD a bacterial infection? I don't know. I don't know if you guys know. Sexually transmitted? I don't know. He's a creep, isn't he? Another story I want to mention here, because I think it's important since it's happened a second time. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been swatted twice now. If you don't know what that is, go and look it up online. It's a terrible thing to do. It's a major crime. And she's been swatted twice by wokesters. In fact, it's believed that it's coming from someone that's either in the transgender persuasion or in support of that movement that's going on. And here's the headline. Marjorie Taylor Greene says woke mob is trying to get police to murder her by swatting her twice at her home. And I saw the video, the cops going into her house. It's pretty disturbing. And people have been killed by police during swatting events. This has happened. And, you know, the coverage of Marjorie Taylor Greene's swatting has been really kind of mild. I know it's been mentioned here. It's been mentioned there. I know Right Side Broadcasting did an entire story where they went and sat down with her and everything. But the mainstream media really are not covering the swatting of Marjorie Taylor Greene, especially twice. And they're not covering it mainly because they don't want her to be portrayed as a victim, right? Because who's ever doing it's obviously a Democrat, a leftist, woke activist, and they don't want that out there, so they're kind of suppressing the story. But also, the media and the left, they don't blame the person committing this very dangerous felony. You can go to prison, and people have gone to prison. More than once. People have gone to prison for swatting. It is a very big crime. And the media, they don't blame the person calling in the fake calls that's doing it. They blame Marjorie Taylor Greene because of her rhetoric. They think, the media, they think Marjorie Taylor Greene is bringing this upon herself. Can you believe? That's how twisted these people are. It's a whole nother world. And poor Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I don't understand the police, okay? I really don't. When the first call came in, maybe they didn't know whose house it was. But certainly by the time the second call came in, they knew whose house it was. And to answer the call in the way they did the second time is just, there's no excuse for it. And the media, you know, this is a very dangerous thing, swatting. I've seen more than one story on the ID network, the True Crime Network, of people that get shot when the police show up during a swatting event, and people being arrested and going to prison for doing it. It's incredibly dangerous. The police show up, they call it swatting because it involves SWAT teams. They have AR-15s, they have their guns fully loaded, they have them out. Oftentimes like this, it's in the dark. People, they break into the house, they're not expecting it, things get crazy, and boom, someone's dead. In fact, swatting should be considered, in a way, attempted murder on top of the other crimes that are involved with the fake calls. Because when you're doing a swatting event, you are trying to get someone killed or wounded. It's not a kind thing to do. Could you imagine if this terrible thing happened to some high-profile Democrat, or even a Democrat we never heard of before? It's all the media would be talking about. But when things happen to conservatives like this, complete media blackouts, because they don't want conservatives to be perceived as victims. You know, the real haters out there are the tolerant left, and the left are so tolerant, they are, that they cannot tolerate anyone who dares disagree with them. That's absolutely correct. They cannot tolerate anyone who dares disagree with them. That's how tolerant they are. And even though they are fascist, and I remember, you know, how they're calling us fascist this week, semi-fascist. There's no semi-fascist. I mean, you're either fascist or you're not. It's just like there's no such thing as a democratic socialist. You're either a socialist or not. Okay? There's no such thing. But they throw these labels around. You know, that's what they do. You know, and everything that's going on out there right now is to set this narrative, and the narrative is about stopping MAGA. You know, there's some stories out there, some polls that are showing the Democrats in a favorable position going into the midterms. Have you seen these polls over the weekend? I have. How is that possible? You know, my daughter's out of town. I took her car and filled it up. Her car was on E. It was so low on gas, I wasn't sure I was going to make it to the gas station. It was so low on gas. I should have probably went and filled up one of my jugs I used for the generator during the hurricane and brought it back. It was that low. I filled it up, and she's got a small tank on a small car, and it was like $50. When she got that car, it was like $24 to fill it up. Now it's like $49 and change to fill it up. What has happened that shows that the Democrats have any favorable opinions given to them by the American people that are going to be voting in November? That's why people talk about polls. I do not follow polls. All the polls you see in the news are push polls, meant to push you to think a certain way, to feel a certain way. You know, in Dade County, Miami right now, Republican Hispanics for the first time outnumber the number of Democrat Hispanics that are registered to vote. That's huge. That's huge. There's nothing going on in this country that has woken people up. And what these fake polls are trying to convince you of, because make no mistake about it, they're fake polls. They're trying to convince you that the break-in of Mar-a-Lago has woken people up, that the entire MAGA movement is a fascist operation, that our leader Donald Trump is a spy and can't be trusted, and the opinion polls show that there's been a change in the way the American people feel towards Donald Trump since the break-in of Mar-a-Lago. I don't believe any of that. You don't either. Do not let the polls trouble you. Okay? They're all fake. They're not believable. They're just not believable. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this.
Tired of boring mornings?
Bruce. Oh, man, Bruce Rice, $50 super chat. Thank you, thank you. Everyone, please thank Bruce Rice for that. Thank you all, MAGA, loud and proud. Well, thank you for that super chat. Awesome.
Here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Last Monday of the month of August, and we're going to see sticky daytime highs with lots of tropical moisture around in the low 90s. We'll have a good coverage of showers and storms throughout today as well. We saw some overnight, and that will continue on and off throughout today. I'm WPDF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies.
Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham's an idiot.
Crash on the I-95 northbound ramp to Indiantown Road. The off-ramp left lane is blocked, but we're only seeing some minor slowdowns on the approach so far. The rest of 95 and the Turnpike are crash-free, but we're seeing delays on 95 heading northbound from Lantana Road up to Lake Worth Road. We're also seeing delays to the south from Lake Worth Road all the way down to Atlantic Avenue, so you want to take military trailer Congress instead. The Turnpike south, we're seeing some stop and go delays now from Lake Worth.
This thing with Lindsey Graham is just stupid. I want to talk about this Lindsey Graham when we get back.
Boulevard just past 95. And we have an eastbound crash on Southern Boulevard approaching military trailer, stop and go traffic there.
Be right back, guys.
Sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle: air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. That's traffic on Chris Ball.
Florida Luxury Cabinets is your local cabinet showroom right in Boca Raton, specializing in custom cabinets and countertops, providing luxury design and installation, each style embodying a distinct character and a vibe that's unique to your personality and style. Stop to our showroom at Florida Luxury Cabinets for your free consultation. Florida Luxury Cabinets, 2621 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. Call 561-646-8560. That's 561-646-8560.
Is this guy with the pillows on Fox? My pillow guy, Mike Lindell. Where is Mike? He is the greatest. First of all, he does make a great product, great pillows. I actually use them, believe it or not. He's been a supporter from day one. The My Pillow guy. And he's been with us right.
Yeah, this thing with Lindsey Graham is... Lindsey Graham's an idiot. You know, Lindsey Graham is not with us.
So good, even President Trump sleeps on one. Support Mike Lindell, President Trump, and the Steve Kane.
Solid as a soup sandwich.
Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code Kane,
Yeah.
K-A-N-E at checkout for huge savings on My Pillow products. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E at mypillow.com.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside.
Yeah, you all are invited on our cruise. You know, and I hope you guys join us. I'm really looking forward to it. We haven't had a cruise in a couple of years because of COVID. So this is going to be a good one and a big one, and we got a great MAGA crowd going with us. They're always fun. Yeah, we have dinner together every night. And this year, we're going to have dinner in a different specialty restaurant every night, which is going to be awesome. When your daughter's 23, you don't let her do anything. They kind of do what they do. But you're right, Milton, I know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is the cheapest you'll be able to go on a cruise like this ever.
Customize your home and auto insurance. With Liberty Mutual, you only pay for what you need. How many times have you...
Yeah, and they've got, go look up the ship After 9, the Celebrity Apex. Look at the cruise lines video of the ship. It goes through it real quick, and it shows you it's got this restaurant on the outside of the ship and the magic carpet that goes up and down. It's really super cool.
Back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642.
Oh, yeah, and San Juan is really super cool. And we got shore excursions planned, everything else. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show, hold on.
Here's football legend Howie Long for Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear.
The world has gone hands-free, using the phone, turning on your lights, heck, even driving. However, if you want to put on a pair of sneakers, you still need to bend down and help your feet in. Until now. Introducing Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear. Let me tell you, these things are amazing. You don't need to lace up, and they're even better than your standard slip-on sneakers. This is next-level slip-on technology, where you don't need to reach down and help your heel in. You just step in, and off you go. It's that easy. So what's the secret? There's a special smooth comfort pillow in the heel that helps your foot slide into place, and also keeps your feet secure in heavenly comfort, which means they stay on just like a pair of laced-up sneakers. And you can even slip into them while you're sitting down. Make your life easier and go hands-free with Skechers' new hands-free slip-in.
All right, we're coming back.
Putting on your shoes again.
Get hands-free slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Think you might have COVID? Have you come into contact with someone who is sick? Are you traveling and need a COVID test? Same-day PCR testing is available at any lab test now of Coral Springs, on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall. Open Monday through Saturday. No appointment necessary.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show.
All right, we are back. I am Brian. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. You know, Lindsey Graham's an idiot. I saw him on Fox last night. He said, this is Lindsey Graham, if Trump is indicted, there'll be riots. And he was talking about the double standard between the Hunter laptop and Hillary Clinton. No, everyone, be cool. They are going to indict him. Be cool. No rioting going on. We're not taking part in that, and I know you guys are not either. Don't feed into what their fantasies are. Lindsey Graham is a real beaut. He is. You can't trust this guy. You know, there's an old expression, tofu. Does anyone eat tofu anymore? Do you know what tofu tastes like? Tofu? It tastes like nothing. It really does. It has no taste to it. So what these Birkenstock-wearing vegan lunatics, what they do with tofu is they put it in a pan and cook it with something else, and tofu tastes like what's ever in the pan with it. That's how Lindsey Graham is, right? He's the tofu senator, right? He goes with the wind. He sounds like whatever the people around him are saying, and I need his Republican vote in the Senate. We need that. But what an idiot. What a stupid comment to go and make on Fox News last night. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. It's a toll-free call. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Sherry from Texas.
Hey, Sherry. What's up?
Hey, I do believe that they're going to indict him. But I think they're going to drag their feet on whatever information that they feel like they have on grounds to indict him long enough to keep him off of the ballot.
Well, they'd have to keep him that 2 years? And an indictment doesn't keep you off a ballot. You can still be on the ballots with an indictment. The only thing that can stop you from holding federal office is if you are convicted of taking part in an insurrection against the United States. That's the only thing that can keep you from running for federal office. The only thing.
And I'm not going to put anything past the Democrats. I can guess and say they'll ask him to turn himself in. They're going to have him arrested. I wouldn't put it past the Democrats to just go over the top, because that's exactly what they're doing right now. And it's so blatant on what is so discouraging and frustrating is what they're doing is so blatant. They're so terrified of him and how powerful he is, and he's not a part of the establishment, they can't stand it. And this is their last resort.
You know, I wonder if any of them are saying to themselves, if we would have just left Trump alone, you know, right now he'd be approaching halfway through his second term if he were in office right now. And then they would have, like, after the midterms, they'd start talking about lame duck. This man is the most powerful one-term president in the history of America. He controls the whole party. He's more. Is the dog okay? I heard the dog bark. Okay. I know, my dog barks all the time too. Don't worry. And my dog's bark is really annoying. No, but they are definitely, I believe, they're going to indict him, they're going to charge him, and they're going to arrest him. They need the handcuffs, photograph, and they need the mugshot. They want it desperately, and they're not going to stop until they get it. And it could happen any time because he's not on the ballot. So they'll say, well, this thing about before elections doesn't matter because Trump's not on the ballot.
This is terrifying. I never dreamed in a million years within my lifetime that I would see something like this unfold in the United States of America.
Well, it's happening.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, take care. I appreciate it. Great, yeah. All right, take care. That's to my YouTube channel. You know, you guys, I'm on YouTube all the time. Brian Craig on YouTube. And I'm always putting things up on YouTube. If you don't follow me on YouTube, you're missing a lot, I'm here to tell you. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, haven't heard from you in a while, Augustino.
Yeah, that's true. You haven't heard, but I've been hearing what you've been saying on YouTube.
Great.
And I'm really disgusted at what is going on about Mar-a-Lago. I watched your video of you going to Mar-a-Lago and having to walk for 8 were against Trump. You know, the ones you were talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The media went over and talked to them.
Yeah, there were five liberals there, hundreds of MAGA supporters. New York Times goes and interviews the 5 Democrats. Exactly.
Yeah. Very stupid. That's really worrying me. You got me really worried today, and I want your honest opinion. You're telling me that they're going to arrest Donald Trump?
I believe they will, yes. I believe they're going to, yeah.
And do you know Joe Biden says he did not know anything about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah. Well, he lied. He lied.
He lies about everything. What do you want? We got the best. Now, do you mean is Donald Trump president or not?
I don't see why not. There's no law that says because you've been indicted on espionage charges, you can't run for president. It depends on what they, listen, what got me into this was, I was talking about this at the top of the 6 o'clock hour, so I'll just recap it. I did something I've not done in years. I bought a physical newspaper printed edition of the New York Times on Saturday because I wanted to read their articles on the redacted affidavits to see what their take was on it. And it was frightening. The articles in the New York Times are talking about how Donald Trump has been releasing the names of our spies around the world, endangering their lives. And these people on the left, they think he is just handing out secrets all over the place. And they had this story over the weekend that I don't know if you've seen, but I know some of you out there have seen, of this Ukrainian woman that was passing herself off as a Rothschild and got into Mar-a-Lago. That's another fake story. It's a real story, but it's a setup by the government against Donald Trump to show how the items that they seize there are not secure because this Ukrainian woman was able to get in and take pictures with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago with a fake identity. I mean, it's crazy what's going on, Augustino.
Mr. Brian Craig, I want to ask you something. You're scaring me right now.
No.
Wearing a shirt with Trump pictures.
That's correct. It says, I'll be back.
2024 on one side of the lens.
That's right.
Absolutely nothing on the other side. That's scary.
No, the shirt I'm wearing It says it's Donald Trump wearing sunglasses, and on one of the eyes it says 2024, and it says I'll be back. This is a takeoff of Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator and that movie poster, and in one of his eyes you saw a red thing. Here they got 2024, I'll be back. That's Donald Trump. It's a Terminator parody shirt. I'll be back.
Thank you, because that thing is scaring me to death. I'm staring right at it.
It's a nice shirt. I got this shirt at our last personal appearance Steve Kane and I did at the Festival Flea Market when they called the police to remove us because MAGA was there. Yeah, I'd like to get another one of these shirts, but I can't go back to the flea market. I'll get arrested.
Oh, my God.
I know. They're treating me like they're like the Justice Department over there.
You're incredible. How they could treat anybody like you. I mean, you're a celebrity.
That's right. That's right.
This is America. And I want Donald Trump back in. I'm on a ballot. I'm going to write his name down.
Maybe you should write his name down for every office. Hey, Augustino, good to hear from you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, take care. If you're on hold, stand by. You know, I'll tell people what happened that are new to the program. Steve and I did our first personal appearance since the COVID era a few months back at the Festival Flea Market in Pompano, which is going out of business. And so we went over there, and we were doing an appearance at a sponsor of ours who, because they're going out of business, has moved out. And they have like this little kiosk at the festival. We had 300 or more people show up to meet us over there, which blew me away. I was shocked at how many at this little area. And the very creepy manager of the Festival Flea Market, who had like a prison mustache, you know, those mustaches that go down the side of the face, he had a pistol. And he had an armed security guard and called the police on us and threw Steve Kane and me out. And because I record everything from my YouTube channel, I happened to catch the entire thing on video. So if you go to my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube, you can see the video of Steve Kane and I removed, well, by men with guns from a personal appearance because we were MAGA. I asked the guy, I said, apparently shopping at the mall's a crime now. It was very strange. Very strange, so go and check that out. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break and be back with the Gold Report. The guy, I said, apparently shopping at the mall's a crime now. It was very strange. Very strange, so go and check that out. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break and be back with the Gold Report.
The longest running radio show in the state of Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. 95.3 and 96.9.
All right, we're back, and let's touch base with our first gold and precious metals report of the week with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca Raton. William Youngerman, how the metals starting off this week?
Starting off on the lower side for the most part, we saw gold close down almost $20 on Friday, down $19.80 on the close at $1,739.10. Silver lost 34 cents Friday, closing at $18.92, just under that $19 number. Platinum was down $21 at $861 the ounce, while palladium was down $31 at $2,044. Overnight, we saw gold trade all the way down to about $1,720 on the low. The continuation of the fall, the stock market anticipating lowers today after a 1,000-point drop on Friday. Has brought gold down a little bit more now at $6.10 down. Gold at $17.33 right now. As I said, we did hit a low overnight at $17.20. Silver down 20 cents at $18.72. Platinum up $5 at $866, and palladium up $47 at $2,091. That's pretty much where we're starting off this week, and certainly giving us a continued buying opportunity to add to our portfolios at this time.
Absolutely. The metals are all on sale, which is really awesome. At these prices, William Youngerman, I mean, if you're not in the metals yet, you should be today. You know, let me ask you a question. We were obviously gold is the gold standard. That's the way to go. And you were telling us last week a great way to buy the gold coins is look for some of the foreign mint bullion, because you can get more gold for your money with that. Let me ask you about silver, because a lot of people love the American Silver Eagles, which you have. But are there some options to buy silver coins that people might be able to get even a better deal than on those silver American Eagles?
Oh, yeah. You can buy from the Canadian maple leaves. We have some beautiful coins from with the Noah's Ark on them that are half the premium that the U.S. Silver Eagles go for. So you can save some significant money on a lot of other products. We have 1 ounce silver rounds, which are way less than the premium.
Oh, now silver rounds, for those that don't know what those are, silver rounds are 1 ounce coins, but they're not from one of the national mints, but they're silver.
It's like in a bar form, but it's in a round coin-looking format, which makes them very nice to own. They come in tubes of 20, and they sell for a very small premium, about $4 over.
And you can buy them one at a time if you want as well. So yeah. And those Noah's Ark coins, Steve bought a couple of tubes of those, and he let me open one of them up and look at them. They are beautiful, beautiful coins. Listen, William Youngerman is located right here in Boca. He opens up weekdays at 10 a.m. He's located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com, and you can also do business by phone. No matter where you're located, here in South Florida or around America or the world, you can get these great deals from William Youngerman over the phone. Call him at after 10 o'clock, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll touch base tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, back after this. Rich? Dead air.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All righty. Oh, man. Yes. We are back. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Twice. All right. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I can hear you. Good morning, caller. Once, twice, 2 in a row of these? What's going on? All right, let me give out the number again, and let me see. If you're on hold, when I say you're on the air, when you're listening on hold, when you call the show, just so you know, we are on a delay, and the delay is different depending on where you're listening to us. If you're listening to us on the radio, what you were hearing was 20 seconds ago, okay? If you're listening online, it's different. It can be much longer depending on what online platform you're listening to us on. But if you're listening on the radio, what you hear on the radio was 20 seconds ago. We have a delay in case people say things that you're not allowed to say on the radio. So when you're on hold, you've got to listen on the phone, not on your radio or mobile device or whatever you're listening to us on, because you won't hear when I go to you because of the delay. All right, let's try it again. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is JJ from Mask.
Hey, JJ. What's up?
Well, I was going to talk about the indictment and/or arrest
Yes.
of President Trump. And I've been listening all morning. I heard what Gingrich had said. And I'm just, don't want to ruffle any feathers, but I kind of think that's going to happen, but at the same time, I'm thinking that it's not going to, and here's the reason why. Number one, when it comes to the indictment, this has got nothing to do with anything being legal or illegal. They don't care about that. It's got to do with the show, the theater performance they put on. Basically, see how it's going to affect the voters. Act 1 was Mar-a-Lago breaking in. Act 2 was we found all kinds of top-secret documents. Trump's a danger. Act 3, we've got the Rothschild spy, and from what I understand now, they're putting testers out saying that, he's selling spy information to people. I think Act 4 is going to be the CIA or the in-your-face state, not the deep state, the FBI, etc., saying that these documents have damaged the country, and Trump's, we've got to do a firing squad, whatever.
Oh, why? Oh, my God. That's why we're on delay. JJ. Callers on hold, stand by. I've got to wait for the delay to build back up. Is that the first time I used the delay today? The first time I hit the dump button? The dump button is when someone says something I hit the dump button, so what they said doesn't go out on the radio because you're not allowed to say certain things. And JJ, talk like that is not good. Don't do it. You're a good guy, JJ, so I'm not going to give you a hard time. But oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We use the dump button more than any other radio show ever. I mean, when Howard Stern was on the radio, I bet you he did not use his dump button as much as we do on this program. Hey, that's good. The show's hot, and it's people getting excited, and sometimes people say things that they don't mean to say. And I'm sure JJ would rethink that. All right, 1-888 go Kane 1-888-465-2631. The delay has re-engaged, so let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh boy. You're on the air. Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Becky, and I'm in Tennessee.
Becky from Tennessee. What's on your mind, Becky from Tennessee?
Well, I think that definitely he's going to be indicted.
You believe Trump will be indicted? Okay.
Yes, and they definitely want to have a photograph of him in handcuffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're wanting. And then I don't really know what happens after that. Does he go?
Well, when you indict someone, and to take them to court, you have to arrest them. So he would get arrested. All right. Either they'll go and arrest him and handcuff him in person, or demand that he surrenders. And then if he does that, they have to arrest and process him, which involves a mugshot. And they got to take him in front of a judge and read off the charges, and bail and all that has to be discussed. Yeah, there's a whole process. They treat him like El Chapo. And of course, you think the government's going to consider him a flight risk because he owns his own planes.
Yeah, he definitely be a flight risk. So does that mean he couldn't bond out?
They may not give him bail.
Oh my God.
I know this. I am not one of these guys on the radio that says crazy things to get the phones ringing. I'm talking about what's going on. Newt Gingrich said over the weekend the indictment's coming. It was on Newsmax. Newt Gingrich is a DC insider who is not known for saying things that are nuts. He doesn't do these scenarios. He doesn't do, okay, if this scenario happens, you know what I mean? When Newt Gingrich says something, you can take it as the gospel. Now, I know to liberals that means fairy tales, but when I say the gospel, I mean, that's it. That's the way it is. And I think what's going on now is Newt Gingrich and others in the media are getting the American public accustomed to the idea of him being indicted, so that when it happens, it doesn't seem as big of a deal. Like, oh, okay, we heard about that last week. It's old news.
Well, that's right, but when I saw the title of your show, it said Trump indicted, what's next?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God, did they already arrest him and all that?
Oh no, but they're planning on it. They're putting the plans together.
They're doing anything, just anything to stop him from.
That's right.
Really think all that's going to happen. I think he's going to be indicted, and they're going to have a trial, of course.
Well, to have the trial, they have to arrest him. And then they have to bring him in front of a federal judge and have a bail hearing.
That's going to happen. And every minute of it, they're going to think that we're just going to turn against him, and I'll never turn against him.
Oh, no, nothing. I will... No, I'm going to be buried with my MAGA hat on. I mean, I'm just, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, I've been watching you.
I appreciate it.
Nothing from me saying, honey, I'm sorry, but I'm in Tennessee.
I know, you're Southern. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. All right, take care. Bye. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, you're on the air. Billy from Boca, what's up?
Well, I wanted to relay a story that happened to me at West Palm Beach Airport last Thursday night. I was on my way to New York, and I am a conservative, an independent conservative Trump supporter. I make shirts for myself. I wear them all the time. I was wearing a particular shirt. The shirt says
Oh.
With white writing. At the gate area, the gate attendant comes over to me and says, "Excuse me, sir, I'm a retired dentist." She says, "We've had 4 complaints about your shirt.
Oh, well.
We're offended by it.
Oh.
Do you change your shirt, or could you turn it inside out?"
This is a dentist, and not like a passenger on a plane? This isn't like security?
It's me. It's me.
No, the person who said this to you. Oh, you're the retired dentist. Oh, okay, so who said this to you?
To me, works for Delta Airlines.
Oh, a Delta worker said this to you.
Right. So, she comes over to me and she says, "Do you have any other shirts to wear?" I said, "I do, and I will be happy to show them to you, but they are all only slightly less offensive to the people who are offended by this." And she made me take them out and look at them. And she rejected each one, except for the shirt that I have that says, "Fear is not racism."
Okay.
So she said, "You can wear that one." And I said, "I'll tell you what, 4 people to complain about my shirt cannot be enough to strip me of my rights."
Well, I don't know. I see stories of women that like to, go fly on planes like pretty much naked, and they don't let them board all the time, you know what I mean, because it's disruptive. So, there is a precedent for that. I'm planning a trip coming up, and I'm wondering, can you fly with your MAGA hats, or do you have to leave your MAGA hat in the luggage?
It depends, because on the way back from New York 2 days later, I wanted to do a social experiment, and I wore the same shirt back. I wore it through Kennedy Airport. I wore it on a plane in the most liberal, stinking place you can be, and no one said a word.
Yeah. Did you wear your Trump gear on the streets of New York City?
I do.
Are you a big guy? Are you like really big?
6 feet. I'm 63 years old.
Are you white?
I'm white. My father was a Holocaust survivor, survived Auschwitz. This is very scary time.
So when you walk down the streets of New York in your Trump gear, it's cool. No one bothers you.
People stare. People frown. More.
You know what they think? They think you're a mental patient. It's like in Die Hard 3 where they put, Bruce Willis was in Harlem with the sign that said the N-word. Remember that in Die Hard 3? That's what they think you're like. They think you're crazy. He's wearing Trump gear on the streets of New York. He must be insane. They're scared of you because they think only a crazy person would do that.
My wife and kids think I'm crazy. Many people do, but bottom line is, you can't be silent today. This is too serious.
Yeah. All right. Hey, listen, we're out of time, but thanks for the call. Other callers on hold, my apologies. We're out of time. We don't have time for more calls on the show today, but we're here weekdays, 5 a.m. till 9 a.m. So if you're on hold, I'm sorry to say you're going to have to call back tomorrow. My apologies, but we're out of time. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Thanks, everyone who tuned in today. Great calls today, and you all sound great and brought up a lot of things that I did not consider, and you added a lot to the discussion. God bless America, and of course, God bless the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. That I did not consider, and you added a lot to the discussion. God bless America, and of course, God bless the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. All right, guys, hey, listen, I got to run. Thanks for watching. Before you go, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And everyone, like the video and click that notification button. And yes, thank you to the moderators. The moderators make this show so much better because I don't have to worry about the trolls and the porn bots and all that stuff. Our moderators always do a great job keeping track of that for me, so I can focus in on the content that's on the radio, not the bots and the trolls. So everyone, I got to take off, but Kathy and I will have a new podcast later today. Look out for that, all right? Thanks for watching.